What's good, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the What's Good Games podcast, your source for video game news, commentary, analysis, and funny stuff every Friday. I am Brittany Brombacher, joined by the one, the only, the magnificent, the studly Christine Steimer.
Oh my god, I'm just going to bring you with me everywhere so you can introduce me to people.
Baby girl, I live to lift you up. I live to lift you up. It's the
Steinbachers are back.
Motherfucking Steinbachers are back, and we're probably going to have some technical issues during this episode because I have everything set up on this new computer, which is great, but everyone knows trying to do your old setup on a new computer, sometimes it doesn't work out that great. So, yeah, you're probably going to hear Steimer be like, bitch, you're frozen again, because it's happened quite a bit. And
yes.
When that does happen, I'll just have to do my little sorcery. Have the gazoon tight.
Thank you.
You'll just sneeze.
I just sneezed because it's, I don't know, it's a little dusty in here, I guess.
Oh, nosers. I mean, you can't see, but you do have a lot of food on your kitchen back there.
I do. Yeah, I'm clearing out my cabinets, so.
Good for you. Getting on that healthy choo-choo train.
Trying, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Andrea. I don't know why I almost said Andrea. That was weird. She is an LA host. Did she talk about what she's doing in LA?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't think so. She's in LA doing a thing, and she's kicking lots of ass. So it's Steimer and I holding down the shit. Now there's a lot of swearing, and we're only a few minutes into this episode.
I know. We gotta rein it in a little bit.
Gotta rein it in just a little bit. We got our sassy pants on today. It's been a week. But speaking of it's been a week, PAX West is this week. It's kind of hard to believe. Oh my God. So here's what we have going on. This Thursday, August 29th, around 5 p.m.-ish. Well, I guess this doesn't matter because this is going to be over by the time this episode goes live.
So you missed it. Congratulations.
Sorry, you missed our Patreon streams. But if you go to patreon.com/whatsgoodgames, you can watch the archives there, and it'll be great. And then we have our PAX West party. We're calling it Life is Strange 2 presents Relax at PAX with What's Good Games. It's going to be awesome. Woo! It's Friday, August 30th, 7 to 10 p.m. at Art Marble 21. The first 100 people get a free ticket on us. There's going to be food. Are we bribing you? Maybe. Who could say?
Possibly.
It's all ages until 9 p.m., at which point it does become 21 and over. We're going to have some fun giveaways. And we'll be there hanging out, and so will people from the team. So come by, hang out, have a drink, socialize. It'll be great. And then on Saturday, we are playing Dungeons & Dragons at the Sheraton from 3 to 6 p.m. if you want to stop by and say hi, watch us make asses of ourselves. This is the same campaign we've been playing for a while, isn't it, Steimer?
I actually am unsure, because that campaign was run by people in PAX East, and I don't know if they are making the trek over to PAX West or if we are. Oh, they are?
Yeah, it's Craig again. Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, probably we'll do another one shot with the same characters, but a different storyline.
Am I frozen again?
You are. You've been for a few minutes, but I just didn't. I feel like we can't interrupt the show every 2 minutes to say that you're frozen.
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
So maybe you should just put an MS Paint up art on the YouTube video to cover your face.
Well, seeing as I'm not frozen in OBS, it's only on Skype, but you're seeing I'm frozen.
Oh, if it's just me seeing it, that's fine. I will look at your frozen, beautiful face.
Oh, thanks, baby girl. Okay, so yes, D&D Saturday 3 to 6 at the Sheraton. We already have enough players, but you're still more than welcome to come by and say hi and watch us dungeon crawl and shit.
Just, there's usually a small crowd. I don't know why, but people seem to enjoy it, so
it's fun.
If you're one of those people, come on down.
And then on Sunday, September 1st at 7 p.m., it's What's Good Games Live. We are going to be talking about things that we are playing. We're going to be taking questions from the audience, and it will be live streamed. I don't think we have that Twitch stream link yet, but when we do, we'll post about it at Twitter, which is What's Good_Games. Hope you can stop by and say hi. And then Andrea is hosting 2 amazing panels. She's hosting the Life is Strange panel at 12 p.m. on Friday, the Outer Worlds panel 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, and she's competing in the Interwebsite tournament for the Per Schneider Cup Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
So come by, support a girl doing her thing. Oh my God, I'm so out of breath.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of PAX stuff.
I know. Also, I forgot to get our Patreon producers. It's been a thing, ladies and gentlemen. So, Steimer, why don't you entertain the children?
It's been a day. Why don't I go ahead and welcome the new people to our Patreon community? So we have Victor and Laura, thank you. Chewy's Godson, Jacob Irinesi. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm so sorry. Jesse Shepard, Suzanne Russell, Jose Ambrosio, Rob Plays Games, Matt Robinette, Jessica. That's an interesting name. Jessica Storm, Nathan Watkins, Patsy Taggart, Ren Vogel.
Ooh.
I don't know how to say your last name either. But thank you for joining our Patreon community. We very much appreciate it.
And we want to thank our
hope
producers.
you have a good time.
Yeah, and I got my producers up in the nick of time, Steimer. We got Alex Rigopolus, Chewy's godson, David Iacolucci, Faris Attieh. Sorry, I'm really bad at that. And Mohammed Mohammed. Chewy's godson, that's actually a very good friend of mine. And Chewy is, I'll go into this real quick. Chewy is a nickname he calls me because when I first met Jason, Jason's name for me was Bombchew because he couldn't remember how to pronounce my last name, Brombacher. So he turned Brombacher into Bombchew, which got shortened to Chewy. And so that's now.
Oh, I thought it was like Chewbacca, so this makes pretty good. Pretty good.
Thanks, Steimer. I appreciate the positive reinforcement. All right, let's get into the news. But before we do that, we have a special offer from Fleur. We all knew scent is closely linked to memory, and I feel like when it comes to some of my favorite summer memories, that's definitely the case. For example, the smell of freshly cut grass transports me back to when I was a little child and I became a recluse and hung out in my bedroom all summer long while my parents worked very hard in the lawn in the yard and did all those adult things while I played Harvest Moon and Final Fantasy IX all summer.
It's amazing to me that your freshly cut grass memory is linked to you being inside.
I know. It's kind of like the epitome of...
It's just you. It's like you in a nutshell. It's that.
It's me. So now you can create your own special summer memories with a perfect fragrance from Fleur. That's Phlur. Now, Steimer, we've talked about your scent and how good you smell all the time on the show. And sometimes the conversation can get a little creepy. But why don't you tell the kids about your scent?
So even before Fleur was a sponsor of this show, I actually found them myself and I purchased the scent Ciano. Actually, I purchased everything from them myself without a discount. So
hey,
if they want to send me like a free bottle, I wouldn't say no. So I actually have my little travel guy here that I, again, bought myself. It's really old and it's like scratched up at this point, but I take it with me everywhere pretty much. Ciano smells really good on me. It works well with my body chemistry. People, you and Andrea always compliment me. Dude. And like, so does everybody else. So I feel like whenever you get that sort of positive reinforcement, you are more inclined to wear the thing. So it's a really nice scent. It's not too overpowering, but it kind of lingers, which is what I like because I'm lazy and I don't want to reapply perfume all day, every day. So I just like that Ciano has a bit of weight to it and it sticks around.
Mm-hmm. And it's confirmed. If you go to PAX this weekend and you see Steimer, she's the best smelling thing in the room.
Please ask before you smell me because don't just come up and smell me.
I was not going to open that door. I would say she's the best smelling thing in the room. You don't need to get all up in her grill.
Yeah, please don't.
You should never do that. You should always just ask people. Anyway, Fleur makes great smelling, clean, and sustainable fragrances. Every Fleur scent is for anyone. All that matters is what you like. And unlike other fragrance companies, Fleur is transparent and discloses every ingredient and why it's there. Make new scent memories with Fleur. Go to Fleur.com today to use promo code What's Good to get 20% off of your first custom Fleur sample set. Pick 3 scents to try and get credit toward a full-size bottle of your favorite. That's promo code What's Good at Fleur.com to get your first 3 Fleur fragrance samples at 20% off, Phlur.com. That's promo code What's Good at Fleur.com to get your first 3 Fleur fragrance samples at 20% off. Man, that's hard to say that.
It's a tongue twister.
I'm looking at that. I'm like, how am I going to do it? But I did it. All right. So we have I guess before we get into the news, let's kind of talk about what this show's going to look like as we do things today. So we're going to go over the news as normal. And then the second segment is going to be all about our hands-on impressions of games that the embargoes all released this week. And I think one released last week. And then our third segment is going to be the Fire Emblem Spoilercast, 3 Houses. So obviously it's a spoiler cast. So you might want to stay far, far away from the third segment if you're still playing that game and you don't want everything ruined for you.
Yes, we will obviously, we will remind you.
Yeah.
So if you're like, oh, okay, whatever. And then like it starts to approach and you find yourself still listening to it, turn it off if you don't want things spoiled.
We'll yell at you, like Steimer said.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into this first news topic. What's this accent? I don't know. What is this?
I don't know. Do you want me to take this one or the next one?
You can take this one, Steimer.
Okay. It's real weird, y'all. Let's get into it. Two people who didn't work at Telltale Games say they're bringing back Telltale Games. So this story comes to us from Kotaku. Telltale Games is back. Well, at least the name is. A group of investors announced plans today to revive the iconic studio, which shut down last September. Although the company's staff having scattered to the winds, this seems like less a revival and more like one of Clementine's enemies. Oh. Get it? It's a zombie reference. Yep. If you have no idea who Clementine is, she's in The Walking Dead. Today, Jamie Attieh is how I'm going to say that name. It might not be correct, but that sounds great. And Brian Waddle, which is a great name.
It is.
Two men who did not work at Telltale Games told press that they had secured the rights to the company's name and some of its licenses, and that they will be reviving the company in Malibu, California. The original Telltale was located in San Rafael, California, which is all the way at the tippy top sort of the state near San Francisco. Atelier's background is in mobile licensed development like Duck Dynasty and Power Rangers, while Waddle worked at the outsourcing company Virtuos and the physics software maker Havoc. The money for this venture is coming from a publisher called Athlon Games, a subsidiary of the Chinese video game holding company Leyou, as well as a group of executives who have worked for game publishers like Rebellion and Starbreeze. So in other words, a bunch of people are taking a familiar, beloved name and slapping it on something brand new. Telltale Games, of course, was the company responsible for the critically acclaimed adventure games like The Walking Dead and Tales from the Borderlands before unexpectedly closing in September 2018. Now, stickler me is going to say they weren't really adventure games, but that's fine. And what about the people who worked at the old Telltale Games? Polygon spoke to Atelier, who told them, and Kotaku was quoting Polygon here, so we got a quote and a quote and a quote. That, quote, some workers from the original Telltale Games will be offered freelance roles with full-time positions possible in the future. Now, if that doesn't sound like a deal, I don't know what does. That was me inserting myself into the story. Anyways, continuing on. Of course, given that Telltale staff were all unceremoniously fired last September without severance and were left scurrying to find new jobs, many of them have already gone elsewhere. But it's nice to know that those who didn't find employment or are looking to return to the shambling corpse of Telltale, spicy story, may find full-time positions possible in the future. Atelier also told Polygon they plan to resell some of the old Telltale games, many of which have been delisted from digital stores, and try to continue making new ones. It remains unclear just how many of Telltale's staff will work with this new company in Malibu. Headlines across the internet this morning have declared that Telltale Games is back. But as always, it's important to remember that brands do not make video games. People do. And this reboot of Telltale Games has enough red flags to set off a rodeo.
Well, admittedly, when I pulled this story, I did not realize it was so spicy.
This is a spicy article from Kotaku. I also added a dabble of my own spice in there. But yeah, I mean, they're not wrong for the spice. I'd say the spice is fairly earned. Yeah. Maybe not from these particular people because they had nothing really to do with the initial shutdown. However, the fact that they're trying to like repoach workers from before with only freelance positions and just like, maybe we'll actually give you a real job in the future is sort of shit. And like, maybe they're just doing that because of funding and like the venture's not quite off the ground yet. I'm hoping that that is more of the case versus them being scumbags, but I really don't know much about these people, so I can't make that call.
Yeah, I had heard that the goal is for them to remain small in the first like 6 months to a year or something. It was right around that time frame. So I think you're right. It's interesting. I think I can see both sides of this. Obviously, to start up a new game studio in today's day and age, right? It's hard to break the mold and it's hard to establish yourself. So to get a name like Telltale, I think that can. I don't think the brand is so much tarnished as much as it is the people, how they were treated. You know, the inner politics of the brand. I think everyone really loved Telltale and wanted to see them succeed. And obviously what happened to them is super unfortunate. So from a branding perspective, it totally makes sense why you would want to take that name. On the other hand, I understand the salt that former employees would be feeling. And IGN has an article up where they actually talked with a few, employees there. So this is via IGN. A former manager at Telltale who wished to remain anonymous revealed to IGN that Atelier, or however you said it, and LCG Entertainment purchased the rights to Telltale this past spring. Quote, it was a yard sale. Jamie picked up the Warner IP and brand name. The new entity could now legally reactivate the licenses with the IP holder's blessings. However, IGN has learned that certain licenses previously held by Telltale have reverted back to the original IP owners. Quote, Minecraft went to Microsoft, Marvel went back to Marvel, The Walking Dead went to Skybound. However, WB licenses like Batman and The Wolf Among Us, an original Telltale IP like Puzzle Agent, can be reactivated by Telltale. Our aforementioned source says that WB likely blessed Batman and The Wolf Among Us for the sale to go through to LCG Entertainment. So at the very least, we know that now new Telltale can work on those IPs.
Interesting.
And then someone said here, former developers, a quote, because you get two sides of the spectrum. And so here's one quote. I think it's great if this means the games are made available again, and even better if this means people who were affected by the layoffs can find work again, as some still haven't. It definitely won't be the Telltale that was there before the closure. It's been too long now, and a lot of people have moved on. And then you have former Telltale employee Carolyn Liddick, who says, quote, Telltale Games isn't coming back. A company bought our assets. I'm still working through the trauma of our company closing, and I am missing my friends every day. So.
All right. Sure. I think the one thing that people maybe get a little too invested in or think a little too narrowly on is the fact that, like, most people, again, do not know anything that happened with Telltale. A lot of people will not know this story. They will see the name Telltale on a game. They will go to Steam. They will go wherever. They'll just buy it. Like, they will have literally no idea of that the studio even maybe shut down if they were just not paying attention at that particular moment in time. And so I think that's also another element to really think about is, like, yes, they bought this brand, and you may be like, why would you even do that? And why would you bother zombifying this thing? And the answer is brand recognition. And to the average player, they don't know all of this. You people listening to this show are among the few people who will keep informed about things that happen in the game industry. There's a lot more of you out there. Well, number one, don't listen to this show or any show about video games.
It's so true. I think we forget how much of in a bubble we really are. You know, I often forget how many hundreds of millions of people play video games, maybe even billions at this point. I can't keep track of this shit. But it's like, you're right. Like, people don't pay attention to this stuff because they just want to play their video games and remain ignorant to all the politics of it, like smart people.
Yeah, they're just like, look, I just want to play this game.
Yeah.
Cool. It says Telltale on it. Therefore, it's probably something that maybe I once played Walking Dead at the beginning, and then I stopped for a long time, and then maybe I see something new pop up, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try that. Now, whether or not the quality is there, and whether or not you keep returning anymore, or if the name sort of gets tarnished with whatever their new projects are, remains to be seen.
I mean, I would still love to see more of The Wolf Among Us if it could be.
Oh yeah, I was actually. When you said that was one of the IP they still technically have, I was like, thank God, because they were working on it, and then the whole I still can't believe that was so crazy.
Yeah, that was
how fast it closed down and how poorly managed it all seemed. I was just like, what the blank. What the blank?
What the blankety blank? We're going to try to keep it clean because I have swore enough in this podcast.
Yeah, I feel like we've hit our PG-13 rating already.
No, definitely. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we want to see this work out. I understand why some people, like I said, are a little like apprehensive and a little salty about it. But I think if, you know, the games that Telltale was making can continue to thrive, because I don't feel like there's a lot of games like that made, you know, anymore. There's a few, but...
Yeah, I do think that part of the reason it closed, though, was the gameplay itself, at least, was not innovative enough. It needed to be updated. It needed a refresher. So I think if they are literally just copy pastaing what they were working on before, I don't think it'll work.
No, I agree. They need to modernize some of that stuff.
Yes.
I almost said SHIT, but I didn't. We'll see how long that lasts. It's not going to last very long.
We'll try.
All right, let's move on to World of Warcraft Classic. Here's the story from Kotaku as well. Over 1 million people are watching World of Warcraft Classic.
Shouldn't it be more than 1 million?
What do you mean?
Shouldn't it be more than 1 million? Not over 1 million?
Oh, probably. Are you being like...
I'm being grammatic butthead.
Grammar, no, that's good. We need more of you in our life. Trust me, there's not enough.
I don't even know if that's correct. I think it is. I feel like people yell at me all the time about over versus more than, but it's fine.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot. Man. Oh man, that was a law of life I was not aware of. So again, this comes from Kotaku. After 2 years of anticipation, wow, has it been that long? WoW Classic is finally live. Top streamers from every corner of Twitch are streaming it right now, resulting in an audience of over 1 million or more than a million concurrent viewers in some seriously congested starter areas. As of this writing, I believe this went live today or yesterday, so either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. As of this writing, the Slaverin Horde of the Horde and Alliance fans topped out at 1.1 million people. That's a colossal number for a single game on Twitch. For reference, Fortnite has been recently pulling between 100,000 and 200,000 concurrent viewers at any given moment. It's rare that even big esports events brings this kind of attention to a single game. Even more impressively, WoW Classic pulled in the majority of these viewers while streamers were waiting to be able to log in. For example, by the time he was able to join a server, popular WoW streamer as Mongold was already at more than 200,000 viewers. Other popular streamers like Soda Poppin and Shroud, the latter of whom hasn't traditionally been much of a WoW streamer, has attracted similarly gargantuan gaggles of gawking spectators. I loved that.
They must have had a good time writing that sentence.
I know, I had a good time saying it. So too has Top WoW Guild Method, which is hosting an event where various personalities and high-end level players race to be the world's first players to complete or basically everything. It's comical to watch, but also frustrating since enemies are having a hard time spawning quickly enough to keep up with demand, and the game is hitching and lagging in great heaving bursts. Meanwhile, players who haven't made it in just yet are reporting hour-long server queue times. There's more to this article, but I kind of like copied and pasted some stuff that was more relevant to what we were going to talk about. And then we have some additional info from Digital Trends, just kind of more about like what WoW Classic is. So as far as price, World of Warcraft Classic doesn't cost anything up front. However, you need to have an active WoW subscription to play. Subscriptions are $15 a month, and if you already are a current WoW subscriber, you're good to go. A subscription covers both modern WoW and Classic. World of Warcraft Classic rewinds time back to 2006. This means it takes place prior to even the first expansion, The Burning Crusade, WoW originally launched in 2004. Combat is slower, more methodical, and generally more dangerous. Movement across the map takes much longer than modern WoW. Additionally, quests are more straightforward with less chance of happenstance occurring mid-run. You also have to meander a bit to find out where you're going to prepare for more backtracking. So basically, it's much more of a slog, is what they're saying.
That's why I don't quite understand the fascination with stuff like this, because to me, I'm like, but the game wasn't. I mean, sure, some of it was probably more fun, but I don't know that it is. I feel like this is all rose-colored glasses shit. Oops, we screwed it up already. But like, it's just like, oh man, wasn't it great before when X? And I'm like, was it great? Was it great that it was way slower? Was it great that all the quests were fetch quests? Was it great? Was it great? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? Obviously, I think with everything and anything, it's really exciting right now. WoW is still very, very large. And it's going to, obviously, the popularity will diminish slowly over time. I think you're still going to have your core people who are going to play this. But right now, like you said, I admit I was definitely in WoW Classic the same day it launched, because I used to play WoW a ton, and it kind of over time became a little bit too much of a grind. I didn't like how the character creation and the skill tree was so straightforward. It got a little too boring for me, so I stopped playing. But I started playing in 2009. 2009 is when I first started WoW, so 3 years after WoW Classic, technically. Oh my God, there's a bug. What's up with me and like bugs like being? Oh, actually, it was just a fuzzy. Never mind.
Oh, well, that's good.
I thought it was
Plot
Bartholomew.
twist.
Nope, it's a bug. Definitely a bug. Get off my. It's on my microphone.
Oh my God.
Okay,
it just wants to be friends.
Oh God, no, it's so bad. Okay. Anywho, yeah. So WoW Classic. So I wanted to hop back in, relive the nostalgia, and it was kind of fun actually. I hopped in, and my cousin was playing, who I haven't talked to in a couple of years, just because like he's over there, I'm over here. So it was kind of fun. It was like, oh hey, dude. And so what I hope I can do once PAX is over is hop back in, play with my aunt and my cousins, because that's how we all did it back in the day.
Totally. I definitely see it as being like a quick, fun nostalgia trip, especially if you have friends that you used to play with, or like an old guild, and you're like, hey, you know what? I haven't played this in a really long time. Maybe I'll hop back in. But otherwise, to me, I feel like obviously WoW has gotten to a place where it's much more refined. And they fixed a lot of the shit that was really annoying about it. So
Yeah, dude, you hop in and it's like, okay, where do I go? And there's no quest markers. There's nothing like that. There's nothing. Yep.
And it's like, I guess I could see how it would be. Again, I think this is one of those things where I would be okay with it for a little bit, and then I would immediately fizzle out, and I'd be like, goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know how long I'll play. I was kind of hoping to hop in and feel like this spark of nostalgia and love like rush into me. That's what she said, but it didn't. But if if my aunt and my cousins are playing, I'll definitely hop in. But did you see that people were literally creating lines to get quest items? It's like the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Yeah, because I mean, generally, you have just like a few gaggle of players, and they run to get like you spam the thing, you get it, and you run off.
The instances. Yeah.
But no, like if you Google it at some point, you have to see it. There's literally like people were lining up. Like,
they're all queuing.
Yeah, and they were just like scooting up one by one to get this item, and people are like yelling.
Oh my god!
People were yelling in chat like, "No cutting!" and "Hey, get to the back of the line!" And it was pretty funny.
Was it on a PvP server? Could you kill the people who cut?
Oh, I don't know.
That'd be funny.
That would be funny, but cool.
But yeah, that sounds really annoying. So I mean, I think there's a lot of people I know who are also playing WoW Classic. They seem to be having a great time.
Yeah.
So if you are somebody who once played WoW and were like, oh, I forgot that this is actually out now, like maybe actually wait a tiny bit just so that the server population goes down and it won't be as insane.
I know they're creating a whole bunch of new servers, or at least they were, and wait times were pretty ridiculous. I actually didn't have that bad of a time. I had like a 20-minute queue, but I'm in a not so popular server. Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy your time wandering down the memory lane and saying what you find there.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, girl.
Cool. All right, now time for the greatest story to ever hit the internet. That I totally missed, and I was very excited about to see on the rundown today. Disney Classic Games Collection brings Aladdin, The Lion King, to console and PC this fall. Get wrecked. All right, Polygon is bringing us this story. 2 classic video games from the 16-bit era, Disney's Aladdin and The Lion King, are coming to modern platforms this fall. Publisher Nighthawk Interactive and developer Digital Eclipse will bundle those 2 retro platformers in Disney Classic Games, Aladdin and The Lion King. What a very straightforward name. Which will be released for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One. Both Aladdin and The Lion King will feature, quote, upscaled graphics to support high-definition displays and additional upgrades to enhance playability on modern platforms, according to a press release from Nighthawk Interactive. Those upgrades include save states. Holy shit.
Oh, boy.
Thank God. A rewind feature that will let players let players to jump backward up to 15 seconds, a level select, invulnerability, and infinite lives.
Oh.
The collection also includes what Nighthawk calls an interactive game viewer, which will let players watch full game playthroughs with, quote, the ability to skip forward, jump in, and start playing around at any point. The collection will also include a variety of versions of each title. Nighthawk promises multiple playable platform versions of the games, including Sega Genesis, Game Boy, and Super Game Boy releases, as well as the Lion King's Super NES version. In other words, it doesn't sound like Capcom's Aladdin for Super NES will be included as part of the package. Wah, 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 wah.
Is that the Price is Right sound?
Yes.
Good job.
The collection will also feature a new, quote, final cut of Aladdin and that game's 1993 trade show demo version. Amazing. Disney Classic Games Aladdin and The Lion King will be released physically and digitally for $29.99. The re-release of the 16-bit era games come on the heels of Disney's live-action remakes of both Aladdin and The Lion King, a pair of films that have grossed more than $2.5 billion at the box office. And then Brittany has put another little note in here saying, speaking of video games, films that have been scrapped due to the acquisition. Wait, sorry, I fucked that up a little bit.
You're rolling with it, girl.
Speaking of Disney, I should say. Reminder of video game films that have been scrapped due to the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by the Walt Disney Company. Mega Man, The Sims, Assassin's Creed 2, Magic the Gathering, Hitman 2, and Play-Doh?
Yeah, not video game related, but I saw that Play-Doh was apparently a movie, and I had to add it in.
That was a movie?
It was gonna be a movie, Rip in Peace, and then it wasn't.
Thank God they killed it. Good Lord, that sounds terrible.
Would it be like a world made of nothing but Play-Doh and like the fun physics?
I think it would have to be sort of like a Lego movie, but all the little bits are made of Play-Doh. Everything is Play-Doh.
I think you're right. I didn't even know they were making the Sims movie. I didn't know they were.
I didn't either. I don't know how that would work either because they all speak Simlish.
Well, not only that, it would be the most fucking boring movie ever. Because literally, you would just take someone's day-to-day life and and this reality television is what it is.
Right? Yeah, The Sims is not exciting to watch unless you're doing a specific odd challenge, which is why a lot of the Sims YouTubers do stuff like the 100 baby challenge or whatever. Because otherwise, you're just sitting there redecorating your house
or cooking dinner, taking a bath.
Dinner. Trying to not burn it and set the house on fire.
Flirting with your neighbor.
Just minor things in your life, little setbacks like your whole kitchen burning down.
But yeah, so I saw this and I thought this was pretty cool. I think I've talked about it on the show how the Lion King Super Nintendo game was my jam growing up, but I never actually played the game. I just played the first level, and what I would do is I would go through and clear out all the enemies, and then I would LARP and roleplay in that first level as Simba.
Oh
yeah.
No, we beat me and my sister, we beat the entire game, and that game does not have saves.
Oh no.
It does not have, you have certain number of lives. Mm-hmm. It took us forever to make it through this game because it has levels like I Just Can't Wait to Be King, where if you hit over on the D-pad the wrong way, you roll off the head of giraffe.
Oh, I hated that level.
Instead of jumping. And then you have the Wildebeest, where you're running forward at the screen and needing to jump at the correct time.
Oh, no.
In order to not get hit by a rock.
I don't think I ever made it that far.
Oh my God. No. The game is really difficult, but I am stoked that it's here. I'm stoked that there are saves. I don't really care so much about the rewind. Infinite lives is dope. So I won't do invulnerability because who cares? But I am excited to jump back into these. I just don't know if do I want these on my Switch? I guess I'm worried about the controls because again, it was the ones I played on were Super Nintendo, and that D-pad is a more traditional D-pad than what the Switch has. So I assume that they have taken that into account, considering it says additional upgrades to enhance playability on modern platforms, but I'll have to see.
Yeah, I would say the Pro Controller, but I know you don't dock your Switch.
I do not dock my Switch. My Switch is in a small, I don't use my Zelda case anymore because it's too fat. So I just got a really slim case on Amazon to carry it around with me.
That's nice and sleek. But it's just cool. I think just to live, or what am I trying to say? Appease my childhood self. Maybe I'll play this and I'll finally play The Lion King for realsies. I will put on all the codes though and all the lives because I'm too old to get frustrated.
That game is really hard. I just want to play it semi-normally to see if I can still do it.
You should.
It's I mean, it's been such a long time. Same with Aladdin. Although I played the Super NES version of Aladdin as well. So the fact that I don't understand how they're different. I don't know how different the Genesis version was from the NES version. I have not.
I thought I had read that they were pretty different, and I'm willing to bet that it's not coming probably for some. Oh yeah, Capcom's Aladdin. So it's probably some licensing thing. Who knows?
Curses.
But no, this is cool. Our childhood, it's coming back.
It is. Now just give me Donkey Kong Country and I will be fine.
Just give us SNES classics and we'll be living our very best life.
Give us some SNES. Let's go.
Oh, SNES. No, Steimer, no.
I know.
No SNES.
SNES.
Okay, so these are just little, tidbit stories that there's not a lot to talk about regarding them, but I just want to talk about them because they make me happy.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, Judgment has sold well enough in the West that we could get a sequel. So this comes from PlayStation Lifestyle. Yakuza spin-off Judgment has enjoyed robust sales following its launch in June of 2018. In fact, it exceeded Sega's expectations in the West, so much so that we might even get a follow-up sometime in the future. The game's producer Daisuke Sato said, "From our point of view, Judgment's performance in the West has surpassed our expectations. They're very good. There was a time when Japanese action brawlers like these were considered niche in the West, but after the explosion in popularity with the Yakuza series, Judgment seems to have followed suit. Yakuza is no stranger to sequels, so seeing a Judgment follow-up would not be surprising. Also, the Yakuza just got a whole bunch of, the series got a bunch of re-releases, announcements. So if you haven't played these before, it's a good time." Nice. When asked about the possibility of a sequel or follow-up, Sato responded, quote, "Us as a team would like to keep working in more games in the Judgment series. This statement obviously doesn't confirm anything, but the first step in getting a new Judgment game is a team willing to create it. In addition to its commercial success, Judgment received positive reviews, with many outlets enjoying its story, detective mechanics, and rendition of Tokyo." I've talked about Judgment a lot on the show. It's probably right now, I would say, like, my number 3 game of the year. I would say number 1, Resident Evil. 2 is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. And then I would say 3 is Judgment. So it's a very good game. So this makes me very, very happy.
Rad. Yeah. All right. Another tiny story. Watch Dying Light 2's full E3 demo plus developer commentary. This comes to us from The Polygon. The full 26-minute E3 demo for Dying Light 2 is now available on YouTube, and fans eager for the next installation of the parkour-focused Melee game are in for a treat. It includes a full developer commentary, not unlike what the press were treated to in June. Dying Light 2 takes place in a fictional amalgam of several European cities. Players must navigate the politics of a city on the brink of vanishing entirely after a global zombie pandemic. First-person platforming is much improved from the original, giving new options that increase the literal depth of the world. The further you fall below the surface, the more dangerous things become, including the risk of losing your own humanity.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dying Light 2 not expected until spring 2020, and it is launching PlayStation 4, Windows PC, and Xbox One.
Yeah, so this is a thing now, has this been going on a long time? And maybe I'm just now paying attention, where they show footage at E3 and then it doesn't come out for a while.
Yes. And then it's usually around Gamescom, which just ended, where it's either at Gamescom or a little after Gamescom. Usually they will release the E3 behind closed doors footage to the public.
Yeah, I just haven't really noticed it until all the Cyberpunk stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yes, Cyberpunk is another one that is now releasing more stuff. So
yeah, Dying Light 2, I obviously am very much looking forward to this. And I think Steimer and Andrea are as well. I think, are you looking forward to it?
I thought it looked really good in that demo.
Okay.
I'm a little scared. I will give it a shot. I think it's a matter of how much it freaks me out, like if I can continue to play it. But I liked everything I saw, and I liked that it was actually more story and decision based, and I liked when they said they did not consider it a zombie game. Those are all things that made it more appealing to me. I know that you obviously love the zombie part and you love the horror and being scared, but as someone who does not and it has like very little interest in that, I'm much more interested in the story, they've sort of gone back. Like I remember when games used to do this a lot more with the branching storylines and sort of walling off content, so you would have to go back and replay, and that sort of got lost as people realized there was a lot of content not being seen that they were making. But Dying Light's going back to that and is very much branching off a lot of different stuff, so you will technically need to replay it in order to get the whole story. Well, not the whole story, but to see all of the content that they have created.
You got it. Just like we're talking about Fire Emblem in the third segment of the podcast. Anyway, so this is what we saw at E3, obviously, and you should check it out. It looks real good. And then very pretty. Oh my god, it's I think we voted for that for best looking game.
I mean, the lighting was really great. Everything looks really crisp, which was nice. And I was like, even though it's a sort of dark post-apocalyptic world, you still have a sense of like beauty in it, which is nice.
Yeah. And oh my god, that fucking bug is back. You need to die, sir. I don't know what it is, Steimer, when you and I just do the show, it's like bugs are attracted to me. It's like
they are attracted to all of us.
I think what's happening is that they know Andrea's not on the show, and they're like, hey, you need a third seat. I'm no redheaded beautiful wonder.
Maybe they're just volunteering.
They're expertise. Okay, Mario Kart Tour is releasing September 25th for iOS and Android. You can pre-register now if you're Auntie Annie. That was just announced. And Pokemon Masters is out this week on Thursday, 8/29. So if you want to give Nintendo some of your money, there's a good way to do it. And so, okay, now we have Holy Game Reviews releases Batman, and I put this in here because there's a lot. Fucking god damn it! So
I can't see you struggling with this because you're frozen. So like, I don't know what's going on. I just hear the reactions.
Yeah, you can't see it. It's probably for the best. It's probably kind of traumatizing. So we have a lot of game reviews and releases coming out this week. So let's just kind of want to run down them a little bit, and we'll talk about a few of these next week. So our next segment. So Control is currently out. Is it out? Yes, it's out. Yes, it came out yesterday. And it's currently sitting at 84 on Xbox One and 81 on PS4 on Metacritic. So congratulations, Remedy Games. You did a good job. Man of Medan is a 73 on Xbox One, a 70 on PS4, and a 76 on PC. We can talk about why those scores are they're not terrible.
No, those are like average.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like a 7 out of 10 is like not a bad score. But I think
it's like you got a C. Well, that one of them is a C plus.
Yeah. Well, we're so conditioned to Okay, we'll talk about that later.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then Astral Chain is getting really good scores on Switch, is an 88, which is awesome. Very much looking forward to that. Then Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey is getting about a 67 on PC, and then we have Blair Witch coming out on the 30th of this month. So that's Friday, and then Catherine Full Body, which Steimer will be talking about in the next segment. So yeah, it's a busy time for games right now.
Yes.
And it's not slowing down, baby girl.
No, I believe it is not.
No, but that's okay. We love what we do, even though it takes all of our time. Okay, so that will do it for this week's news segment. Of course, there's other stuff that probably will break as PAX is coming up, but you know what? We can't be everywhere at once. So we will take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment of the What's Good Games podcast. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot of games to talk about this week. But first, we want to let you know that these hands-on impressions are brought to you by Bombas. Now, Steimer, how often do you think about your socks?
Not that often.
Well, you know what? I used to not think about my socks much either. But I recently discovered socks that changed the way I'll think about socks forever. They're called Bombas. And boy, oh boy. Talk about some comfy socks. So I was perusing their website and I saw this pair of socks and they're called women's grippers. And on there it says great for hardwood floors. And I'm like, okay, I need this because I recently fell down my stairs. And
the Tom Cruise thing is like a suggestion. It looks cool in the movies, but it's really not great in real life. You need a little bit of a grip on your hardwood floors. So you may fall down.
You may fall down. And the stairs are hardwood. And so I'm not the first person to fall down these stairs. My mom fell last year and she still has like a big like lump on her leg. Jason's fallen, gotten bruises. So I was like, okay, something needs to change. And my family members, bless their hearts, started getting me some other grippy socks, but they were kind of like loose and they'd fall down and they're hot and sweaty and stuffy and not a good time. I didn't wear them, started falling down the stairs again. Not a good life I'm living. But so I got these grippers and I've not fallen since I started wearing them. So go team. And Bombas are the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. They're made from super soft and natural cotton, and every pair comes with arch support, a seamless toe, and a cushioned footbed that's comfy but not too thick. Again, it's not stuffy. With many colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas look great in the gym, at the office, and out on the town. They are what feet daydream about. And for every Bombas purchase you make, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need, which is really, really cool.
It's always nice, a little feel-good moment when you're buying some socks.
Exactly. You can buy your Bombas at bombas.com/whatsgoodtoday and get 20% off of your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/whatsgood for 20% off. Bombas.com/whatsgood. That's http://bombas.com/whatsgood for 20% off. Take care of your feet and your back and your butt, especially if you have hardwood floors everywhere in your house like I do. Okay, oh boy, where do we start this week, Steimer? I've
got a lot.
You've been playing Catherine, I've been playing Control, Man of Medan, and a little bit of Ononaki, but I don't have a lot to talk about on that front. So where do you want to start?
So we'll focus on your Control and Man of Medan.
All right. Let's start with Control. Let me pull up my notes here.
Your notes?
I have notes. Okay, so Control is. Did you ever play Quantum Break?
No, that's one of those games that I had downloaded on my Xbox forever.
Okay.
And never, and like just always really meant to and wanted to try and then never did it.
Well, that's okay. Well, it's still a great game. Jason actually just played it for the first time and finished it last week, and I was so proud of him because he finally pulled himself away from Command and Conquer Rivals, which he has been
good boy,
utterly obsessed with. Anyway, yeah. So he's recently played it, loved it, so it still holds up. Obviously, Control is Remedy's next game. And it's been kind of hard to talk about because I could never quite explain what this game was about. And I still don't know if I truly can.
Oh God!
I mean,
but not like on a Death Stranding level.
No. This is like Super Mario World compared to Death Stranding. Like, you can explain what this game is.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'll just go down briefly the synopsis of this game. So you play as Jessie Faden, and she arrives at the Federal Bureau of Control. It's a secret U.S. government agency who deals in what's called the paranatural. And the FBC is in this place called the Oldest House. And inside this Oldest House are these, like, all these different dimensions, and rooms are always changing around. So obviously to that, it lends itself a Metroidvania type of experience. And you are Jessie looking for your brother Dylan for reasons that I'm not going to go into because spoilers suck. And she quickly becomes the new director of the FBC because of reasons. Yep. And so when she's inside the Oldest House, she's noticing that things are just like a little weird. For example, there are people suspended in the air, probably like 15 feet above you, and all these weird, like, contorted positions. They're all wearing their office gear, and they're like, this weird chanting is coming from I think it's coming from them, but all this like gibberish that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
So like a really freaky Mary Poppins when like they're on the ceiling?
Sure. I mean,
Okay.
they're not on the ceiling, though. They're just, like, literally just, like, suspended in air. It just, like, kind of, and then chanting nothing. And you're like, why is this happening? This is not how the world is. And that's the thing, is the paranatural. Think of it as, like, the world operating in a way that it shouldn't, according to, like, what you know about how everything works. And so, as Jessie, you go from room to room, essentially. It's just, like, it's a huge, huge building on the inside, even though from the outside, I'm imagining from what, you know, you're told, it doesn't look like anything super crazy. But inside, it's because it's a place of power. It's kind of its shtick. It can do all sorts of things that it shouldn't be able to do. So you go around, there's from room to room, department to department, and you defeat enemies, and you gain access to different areas, and you meet people. But, like,
what are you shooting? Are you using, like, tools? What are you doing?
So you have this very special gun with you that can do many different things, and that's your primary way of attacking enemies. But you also have this really badass telekinesis skill where you can pick things up and throw them, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. You can give up and you can levitate and move around, and it's really cool. So that's how you defeat a lot of the enemies. I'm only halfway through, and I'll talk about this why, but I don't know if I'll finish this game. It's so far, like, I'll just say this. It's a very fascinating story, and I'm definitely interested in it, but it does, and it deserves all the praise it's getting, definitely. But unfortunately, it's like the perfectly concocted annoyance for me, because there's just a whole bunch of little things that are like some of my biggest pet peeves in games, and it's all kind of like compounded. It's all like kind of in this game, and I'll talk about this. I'll just get into it. So again, like I said, I think the story is fascinating. I think Remedy's job into researching the paranatural has been phenomenal. When we saw them at, I think it was GDC this year. We talked to them, and they said that, you know, they had been consulting someone who, like, if this were to happen, what would it look like? And it's just like an utterly fascinating thing. I'm so intrigued by that kind of stuff. So it's definitely like weird in a good way. And the acting is super well done, and the character design is something I really want to praise, because these characters look real. And what I mean by that is, like, their eyebrows maybe don't match perfectly. Maybe their face is just a little misshapen. They just look like real people that you would see, and that they don't have like the Barbie and Ken look to them. You know, they don't look like the most perfect.
They're flawed.
Yeah, and I don't want to like sound rude, because these characters could be based off of like actual people, but
I mean, like, every person's face is not,
and that's what
like,
I'm saying,
perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like there's a little of everyone in here, and I just really appreciate the diversity that obviously went into this. So the combat, I'll talk about this first. Like I said earlier, it's incredibly fun. The telekinesis, I don't know if I've had a mechanic in a game that's ever felt so good. Like, it's kind of like the satisfaction of throwing Kratos's axe is an axe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And like catching it back like that. You know how good that felt? The telekinesis in this just feels so fucking good. Maybe even a little better than that. And the gunplay is really fun. It's fun to like switch between all the different weapons, and you can get all these cool different abilities that help you in combat. But one of the problems is that the enemies respawn in this game. And yeah, and this is the thing as I've gotten older that I just
don't have patience for.
I don't have patience for it, and this might not bother you, and if it doesn't bother you, then you're sitting pretty. But the enemies respawn, and sometimes they respawn in the most inconvenient and random times, or so it appears. So,
So it's like the issue that Andrea and I had with Wolfenstein, where they were just constantly respawning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's annoying because I'll clear out a room and then I'll be looking around the room because this game has so many cool details in it with the level design, all the documents and stuff you can find, and then all of a sudden they're back. I'm like, no, and you don't get experience by killing them. You get, oh god, what do you get? I'm trying to think of what's even the point. Maybe you'll get crafting components or components to help you upgrade certain things, but you get your experience points by doing side quests and the main quest. So it's just kind of more of a annoyance, kind of like a pad. On one hand, it's cool because it's another reason to use these badass skills that you have, but on the other, you're like, yo, I just want to I've cleared this room out.
Just slow down the respawn rate a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And it also is a pain in the ass when, let's say, because throughout the game there are these spawn points. So if you do die, you come back to them. There's no checkpoints per se. So that can also be, that's also a frustration of mine is you wish that there were more scattered throughout because, okay, this all kind of ties into one. So the enemies also, the only way to get health in this game is by shooting enemies. But the problem is when you shoot the enemies, they drop these little blue health chips, and you have to then run into the fire to get your health. So it's a weird system, and I don't think I'm a big fan of it, because if you're low on health and you're trying to hide behind cover and you're shooting the enemy across the level from you, all of that help you need is by the enemy who's still shooting you. So you have to try to run out and...
Yeah, that's weird. Usually it would at least magnet over to you.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't. So it's basically once you get low on health, unless you can run into the line of fire, you're just not getting any of your health back. Anyway, so, this game, there's no difficulty setting. So it's kind of you just gotta get good. And there are some difficulty spikes, and that I'm at one right now, which is why I'm kind of rage quitting, but kind of not, because it's just a little too annoying. But anyway, so you have these spawn points. And the point I'm at where I'm rage quitting is that the boss is down this corridor from this spawn point. And, like I said, your health doesn't regen. So I spawn and then I run down the corridor, but then 3 enemies spawn that I already killed, but they're respawning. And in this game, the enemies, there are some that have rocket launchers, and they can take off a third of your health in one hit. And when there are enemies on the screen, you don't really know where they're coming from because there's no map on the screen. So if someone spawns behind you and shoots you with a rocket launcher, you're now suddenly down a third of your health. And now you still have the boss fight you have to get to. And
nice.
Right. And so, that's just a little frustrating. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's just But
then technically you turn around, kill them, get your health back?
Or
does the health that they drop not significant enough to make that a viable thing?
Most of the time, it's not significant enough. There are boosters that you can apply to yourself that increases the potency of the health that you can pick up, which is something you can do, but you can only have 1 to 3 boosters at a time, depending on how you want to play Jessie. And I have mine on, so I have 33% extra health. So what that would mean is I'd have to go into my menu, unequip that, and then equip the potency buff, and then shoot those guys, kill them, grab them, and then go back into the menu and change it. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's just
yeah, it's frustrating. It's it's basically small quality of life.
Yeah,
things.
And I think that's kind of what it comes down to, and I'll talk about this too, is there's just few little checkpoints and more spawn points in the map, and I'll talk about that just would have made this yes, it's still a good game and it deserves the scores it has, but there's just some things that, and maybe it's because I'm feeling a little underwater right now with review codes, and we obviously have PAX this week, but my patience just isn't at max, and that very well could be it. Okay, so the other thing is, like I said, the level layout is really cool because there's a lot of attention to detail. Every room you go into tells a story, and I love that about games. That's something I always have loved about the Resident Evil games. You can tell a lot of attention went into this. Unfortunately, it's not always obvious where you need to go to get to where you need to be. Because the only way you can look at your map is by pushing up on, I'm playing on Xbox, up on the D-pad. And even then, it's just kind of like you have a gray and a black corridor. You blame gray and black corridors that kind of like are intertwining with one another. And it doesn't tell you which areas are blocked off because of certain access that you need that you don't have. And so I wish that the map in this game had the Resident Evil 2 kind of...
where it shows you what's locked and what's not.
Exactly. It shows you like, okay, so for how this game could work, it's like, okay, this room needs a level 3 clearance. This one needs a level 4. This is an elevator. This will take you here. And on your map, it never shows you, on your UI, it never doesn't tell you how to get to where you got to go. Like, there's no indicator icon or anything like that. So you got to kind of like open up your map, or you can keep the map open while you're walking. But even then, it's not super clear. So I just find myself like aimlessly wandering sometimes. And
you're just like, where do I go?
Like,
hello, I'm lost.
I know. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking it's just like my patience is just like kind of like maxed out right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair though. Like these are similar reasons as to why Andrea and I were not like, I was like, I will not pick Wolfenstein back up. And it's because of small quality of life stuff like that, where the map is difficult to read. You don't know exactly where you need to go in order to get where you need to go. And like you need to have clear objectives marked, and like not I hate the thing where it's like it's 500 feet above you. You have no idea how to get there. Cool, bye.
And half the time, and I've had some issues too, and half the time, actually, to be fair, probably more like 75% of the time, when I open the map, the corridors themselves don't actually populate. It's just the names of the areas, and I think it's a bug, or it's probably just a performance issue that hopefully will be patched out soon, because I'm having a lot of frame issues. But one time,
maybe they can patch the respawn rate too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Do something. And the other issue too is just like so as you're playing the game, there are a lot of not a lot, but like once in a while you'll get a timed mission, and it'll be like, go to this area of the game and you have 20 minutes, defeat these people, and you'll get some cool gear and items and crafting materials that help you, more like crafting materials that help you upgrade Jesse. But then the problem is when the spawn points, the fast travel points aren't in every single room, and so then it comes in the issue of you spawn somewhere and then you still can't find out where exactly you need to go. You're like, shit, where do I go? And then it's that whole thing over again. And that's something that I just have never had a lot of patience for. So it's kind of like the perfect storm for me. Yeah. So I feel like I'm pissing on this game, and I'm really not trying to. It's just...
No, I mean, like, it sounds like the core mechanics of it are fairly solid, but they just needed to do a little bit better job polishing around the edges in order for it to have been like a home run for you.
Yeah, that's the thank you, Steimer. That's exactly it. And I hope that there is a day one patch too, because I don't know if it's just because I know you had issues with Monster Hunter World on your Xbox, but for my
that thing it would not play.
It would not play. So for me, if I pause my menu, if I open up the pause menu and then I like dink around in there and then I leave, I have to give the game about 3 seconds. Otherwise, it just literally chugs like it's like. And then I have to let it all populate. The map, more like I said, 75% of the time doesn't even work because the corridors don't line up, so all I see is an arrow and names. I've lost all audio and subtitles at some point too.
Man, you have a lot of audio bugs.
I know, it's so bizarre. I had that in Man of Medan too, and I'll talk about that later,
you had it in Red Dead.
And in Red Dead, yeah. But okay, now that I've talked about it, maybe it's evident why I think I just need to set this game down for a little bit. I think these are just issues that, for me anyway, they're just kind of some pet peeves, and it's just like they have almost every single one of my pet peeves in this game, and that's why I'm just like, I love it. I know I'm halfway through. I want to keep playing. I'm fascinated by the story. I like everything else about it, but it's just a little too frustrating for me personally to play right now.
Well, hopefully they will patch some of it out, and then I will start playing it, and then it'll be great.
Yeah, and hey, man, maybe I just need to get good, and if you're good enough, you're probably not dying at all. You don't come across half these issues. So, like, good on you. But, like, if the premise sounds interesting, and if my little complaints don't sound like a big turnoff to you, like, pick it up, support Remedy. They are an awesome team. They did something really special here, and I love that they're not afraid to get weird with it. And like explore like this weird paranatural thing that I feel like is a really hard concept. And even though I don't understand half of what they're talking about, it sounds so legit and it's so fascinating that I'm just like, oh, I want to know more. So we will see. To be continued.
Yes.
All right. Steimer, talk to me about the hot blonde.
If we want to get weird too.
Yeah.
We'll roll back to Catherine Full Body. So if you are unfamiliar, Catherine was a game that came out in the PS3 era. I forget which year exactly, but it's basically it's from Atlas. It's sort of anime visual art style in the same vein as like a Persona. And you play as Vincent, and he is a fella. He's like, I think he's like 30, 31, possibly. And he's in a relationship with this girl named Catherine with a K. And you see the relationship with them first and kind of like a little bit of their struggles. And then you meet Catherine with a C, which is what the game is. Yeah, no, I love she just changed in the document the name of the game where she changed it to a K. And I'm like, no, there's multiple Catherines.
I tried to be a smartass and I made it like a bold K, but now it's like
it's not. It's so his girlfriend is Catherine. Okay. This other girl that comes into the picture, who's the blonde on the cover, is Catherine with a C.
C. Okay, got it.
So the whole game explores really adult themes. So if you have young children, this is not a game you're going to want to play around them. It's all about sort of cheating and morals and like what you should do in relationships, and it explores really deep topics like that. And so what's happening in this world is a lot of the men are having nightmares and winding up dead sometimes. So it's kind of like they're calling like there's rumors of like a curse, and what happens is if you've cheated on any woman or whatever, then you will basically like start having these nightmares and you might die. So as Vincent, you are also one of these people who starts having nightmares, and in those nightmares are kind of where most of the actual core puzzle gameplay comes in. So every night that you play this game, and you fall asleep, you will go into like essentially sort of a weird limbo-y hell area.
Sounds
and
pleasant.
You will, super, super great. And so the whole puzzle gameplay element of it is you are trying to climb this tower. Now, there's a whole bunch of blocks that you're going to need to manipulate in certain ways. So you can push them, you can pull them, you can try and push out certain blocks and make them collapse down so you have easier access. Then there are also a lot of other added elements. So there are trap blocks. So if you step on them, they might impale you. If they're ice blocks, you can slide off and die. Like there's a lot of different
cool
elements to the blocks as you progress throughout the game, and it becomes very difficult. When Catherine first came out, I played it on easy. Guess what? Game was not easy. And so I still really struggled with it. And I also super struggled because I went on vacation and came back and could not play the game anymore because the way it teaches you a lot of the mechanics is like a slow build over time. And I was about like halfway through, and then I couldn't remember well enough. I was getting really frustrated. There was nothing really I could do. And so I just gave up. I was like, well, I guess I'll never play this game. Then Catherine Full Body gets announced. Yeah. And I was like, wait, I have a chance to finish this game. Holy shit. And they have added so much accessibility, which is wonderful for me. So something that is new, they've added, so there was easy, normal, difficult, whatever. I forget exactly the names, but those were kind of the first three original options. Now there is safety mode.
Oh.
Safety mode is a godsend for someone like me who just does not have time right now for a lot of puzzles, especially when I get home at night. I'm tired.
Your brain hurts already.
I don't have like a lot of mental energy for the puzzles. That being said, if you do, the puzzles are great. Like you will get a really satisfying challenge out of the towers, because they're super well designed and really interesting. But if you are also just kind of like, you know what, some nights I might need a chill night, you could have that option, which I think is great. So safety mode means all the trap blocks are disabled. It's just basically like regular blocks going up. But there are still the blocks that you can't move at all. But for the most part, it's much easier to get up the tower. And then even if you're still struggling, you hit a button and it auto plays for you.
Wait, really?
So if you are someone who just wants to see the story of Catherine, who just wants to enjoy what's going on and like learn about the story, you can literally just hit a button and it will play it for you. I've only opted to do that when, again, I'm super tired and I am struggling with one part and I just like and it's annoying. I mean, maybe it's a little giving up too easily because I could definitely figure it out.
Sure.
Especially on safety mode, it's really not that hard. But sometimes it's just like, oh, I'm tired. Click button, go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just it's been so nice. And also, well, never mind. I was gonna say if you have someone younger, but do not let them play this game.
So would you say that the story is worth getting the game and skipping the puzzles?
I find it interesting. So they've also, if you play the original, they have added a character that is called Rin, also Catherine, but just Rin is what they.
I see what they did there.
But yeah, and I'm like, come on, how many Catherines could there possibly be? And the answer is literally everyone. But so aside from the really meaty gameplay parts, you'll be basically in the bar with your friends and you'll go around and talk to people in the bar, and little bits of the story will unfold as you do that. And you can kind of choose to either hang out in the bar for a really long time, try to talk to everybody that you can, or you can just like immediately bounce and go home. But there are slight ramifications for doing that. I won't say what they are, but and then as you are progressing through each level through the night, basically it's like you have a couple mini levels and then like the boss level. And as you're going up on regular modes, the blocks will be falling. So like you have pressure. Like you need to be climbing this as quickly as possible or you fall to your death.
It's not good.
And then on the boss levels, it's not only falling, there is something chasing you. And I won't say what they are because they're very story related. And those things can also kill you. And so it can get very intense. And again, if you are someone who's like, yes, absolutely, throw me a challenge, this game will challenge you. You, by all means, should get it and crank up the difficulty and see how you do.
Bastard. Crazy.
But, and then like in between those levels, there'll be like little chill out moments and you'll go into like a confessional booth and the game asks you questions. So like it asks you like how you feel. It's like all moral questions. And then the funny thing too is it will show you how other people answered. It will be like, okay, here's how your answer compares to everybody else. So it's a really neat, interesting game. It handles a lot of really heavy topics. I do think it's aged a little bit in how it handles some of it. Even though there is a new character, so they've clearly done some reworks on things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they say things and I'm like, yep, this is an older game.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just the way they handle some of the men and women stuff, it just feels a little dated. But to me, I don't super mind. I just really find what's going on in the world to be interesting. And I'm almost at the end. I'm not quite there yet. And I'm like, tell me the twist. What's the twist?
Okay.
I want to know what's going on.
I'm looking, it looks like the game came out in 2011 originally. So yeah, that was a different time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, so I am excited that they brought this back. I'm excited that it has a lot of accessibility. And I think that it's wonderful. If you Google the game, kind of see the art style, get a feel for it, and you are interested in the idea of exploring moral topics about relationships, you could definitely give this game a shot.
I feel like it's the kind of game that it's on Britt's list of games I need to experience. Catherine is definitely up there because you see, all the cosplay and you saw all the photos at the time of the girl with her crazy hair. I'm like, what is this game about? But I typically stay away from puzzle games, especially frustrating ones, because, man, my brain just ain't what it used to be, Steimer.
Yeah, I mean, the puzzles they're so good and so complicated, but oh god, sometimes you're tired. I'm like, you just want to enjoy the game. So I like that they have that option is just going to be like, you know what, just go. And then you can go back and replay anything on a different difficulty if you want to.
Oh, okay. And did you say, can you skip the boss fights too, or do you have to do those?
No, you can hit autoplay on those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. This sounds like the perfect,
that's
chill
what
game.
I did for, those are the ones that if I hit it will be during a boss fight because the other ones are much more relaxed for me since I'm on safety mode. The bricks are not falling. But the boss will still kill you in safety mode. So you're not super safe in safety mode on the boss levels. You're just super safe on the regular, little. Basically, you have different doors and you're climbing up this tower. So you may have two little doors and one big door. Mm-hmm. Though later doors have more little ones. So the next night I'm on has 4. to get up there, so it kind of extends the length of the game. But I'm on night 6 or 7. I forget. I think I just started 7.
Mm-hmm.
And there should only be 8 nights. So,
okay.
That's what they say, that they're like, it's like a 8-night thing.
An 8-night fling.
And again, like I don't quite know exactly where the story ends up, because I have managed to not spoil this game for myself in the past 8 years.
But how much time have you put into it so far?
Playing it the way I have been playing it, I think I'm 5 to 6.
Oh, okay. So it's meaty.
So it's really,
for
yeah,
what
it's
it
not
is.
that bad for what it is. And like, if you're playing the puzzles properly, it will take you longer.
Okay.
It will take you much longer. Again, like I said, I'm playing on safety mode, so it's going pretty fast.
Oh, I wish this game would come to Switch.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah. It could work, except very adult.
Well,
very very adult game.
So like how adult are we talking here?
I mean, it's talking about like cheating and sleeping with people, so
okay,
that kind of stuff.
Okay, it's not like we're banging.
It never like shows it. It's not porn.
Damn. Not interested anymore. But no, I definitely want to play this. I have a code sitting in my inbox, but it's just, Steimer and I divided and conquered, man. She's been playing the Catherines. Yeah. I've been playing the other things.
Yes, I'm so happy that they did this so that I actually have the chance to finish it.
I know. I'm so proud of you and happy for you.
I'm happy that they did it. Thanks, guys, because they, I think, realized that easy mode was not easy.
But it sounds like it's an interesting enough story that you'd want to experience it too.
Yeah, I think the only thing that ever weirds me out is I really hate the way that they draw Vincent's eyes. Sometimes it's a very anime thing.
Is that the main dude?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he's weird looking.
He's weird looking. Yeah, he is voiced by Troy Baker.
Oh, that kid. That
does
explains
a
everything.
Phenomenal job.
That explains everything. That Troy Baker.
Yes. But they do these really weird buggy eyes for him a lot, and they go in different directions.
Ew, I'm looking at a picture. Why would you do that? Oh, that's terrifying. God. Ugh.
Yeah.
No thanks.
He's not the most attractive sometimes with that face.
That's okay. All right. Well, cool. I will have to give that game a shot someday.
Yes. And now the next game.
Yeah.
I'm very interested that you played. Man of Medan.
Do you say Medan or you say Medan?
I don't know.
I don't know how to say it. I don't know, Steimer. I just say it any which way. Whatever way.
I think Medan sounds cooler.
Medan. Man of Medan. Okay, yes. So I have been playing, it's like Dark Pictures Anthology. Man, I just typed Mark of Medan in my search bar. It's, the week before PAX. Okay, yeah. So the Dark Pictures and just the Dark Pictures Man of Medan, but is an anthology. So this is developed by Supermassive. Most recently,
they made Until Dawn.
Yeah, most recently know them from Until Dawn, which is a thing that we streamed and played on patreon.com/whatsgoodgames to check it out. It's a good time. Did we keep everyone alive? Spoilers. No way.
No, we did not.
No, we did not. So, so I think, if you don't know how this game is or what it's like, you have 5 young adults that are scuba diving wrecks for reasons of their own. And how it works is that you control these characters, and you basically, the extent of your plane is you walk around, you look at things, and then you have to there are QTEs, quick time events, and you have to make decisions very quickly, because everything moves in real time here, ladies and gentlemen. No one, it's not like a BioWare game where you have all the time in the world to stress over your opinion, your decision that you're gonna make. This one's, it's like, oh my god, there's so much shit coming, you have to make a decision. Do you run left? Do you run right? Do you save this person? Do you save yourself? Do you agree with this person? Do you disagree? And every choice you make has consequences. So I decided that, because there's 2 different ways you can play, 3 different ways you can play this game alone. You can play it online with someone, and how that works is that, like Andrea's talked about on this show, let's say Steimer and I are playing online. I'll be playing my characters over here. She'll pick her characters and be playing over there. And I won't get to see what's happening with her story, and she won't get to see what's really happening with my story, but they all function in the same world, right? And so her decisions will ultimately impact my characters and vice versa. And then there's the movie night mode, which is the one that I decided to play with my husband, Jason. And how this works is that you can have up to 5 players play, and 2 to 5 for this mode specifically. And each controller can control they have to control at least one character. So the way Jason and I divided up is I had the 2 girls, Fliss and Julie, and then Jason had the 3 guys, Conrad, Alex, and Brad. And so how it works is that we're sitting on the couch, and it'll give you a little scene. It'll be like, okay, Jason, it's your turn. And so then we watch the scene play out, and he controls the characters, he makes the decisions, whatever. And then the scene will switch and be like, okay, Brittany, it's your turn. And then, like, we don't ever have to switch controllers or anything like that. And you just make your decision. And I wanted to play that way because I wanted to see everything. I didn't want to not see what was going on. I think it would be,
makes sense.
I think it would be fun to play this in an online mode eventually, but for the first time around, I want to get an idea of, like, what's everyone doing? And plus, it's a short game. I think I read it's only like 4 to 5 hours. And I'm
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm only like 3.5 hours in, so I'm probably almost done.
So it's basically just designed to be like replayed multiple times see. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, it's what you'd expect. It's fucking. I said the F word. Dang it! I try not to swear anymore, but I did it. It's freaking gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. Obviously, I mean, even Until Dawn still looked really good, and that game is held.
Yeah, that game definitely held up.
Yeah, and I think Man of Medan is Medan.
It might be Medan. I don't know.
The man is
the Man of Medan. It rhymes more, so
like
maybe
that.
It is Dan.
Man of Medan gonna kill you. It's way spookier. I think it's where Until Dawn, had its It had
a lot of jump scares.
It had its jump scares, and I guess if you haven't played Until Dawn, I'm going to spoil like a little thing about it. But toward the end of Until Dawn, it had like that weird paranormal freaky deaky kind of shit, like those weird whatever they were. And
yeah, it's paranormal for sure.
Yeah, this game has a lot more of that, and it's a lot creepier. And it's not just because it looks better, obviously that can play a part in it, but it's just the kind of horror it is more up my alley. It's not so much like murder slasher. It's more like, oh my god, what
spooky.
Spooky. And it was funny, Jason and I were playing on the couch, and whenever something scary would happen, he'd be like, Reb, come sit on my lap, and like Reb would come up and like snuggle with him because Jason's
a good boy.
He was a little boy, yeah. And definitely had those moments like where I had like my hands in front of my face. I'm like, oh my god, this is so spooky and so intense. And
you?
Yeah.
No, you scream facing the fear.
Well, no, I do. I see. You're right. I do that, but I had this moment, and I do this usually when I'm in a theater with Jason, and I don't have to be the bigger person. Because when I'm with you, Steimer, I need to be the bigger person.
You do. You need to lead me through the fire.
I need to lead you. But when I'm with Jason, I'm like, yo, dog, you just tell me what's happening. I'm gonna kind of cover my eyes a little bit and just like try not to see everything full frontal, because if I do, then I'm gonna like have nightmares forever. But no, I mean, it was like, it's probably the best scary movie I've seen in a long time, even though it's a video game. So I would definitely recommend picking it up. If you enjoyed Until Dawn, if this sounds like if an interactive movie experience sounds like something that you would enjoy with a friend or a significant other, you can just, like I said, 4 to 5 hours is what the reviews are saying. And which is kind of a bummer, because I feel like I'm at a point where it's like getting really, really good, but I know it's almost over, and it sounds like it might end a little too quickly. That's what she said.
Yep.
Other than that, though, huh?
How much is it?
I think it's 40.
Okay.
Man, let's look. I'm on the. Oh no, 25. I'm way off.
Oh, nice.
Well, GameStop has it for $29.99, and then Target has it for $25. So yeah, I mean, and like you said, the replayability is there. You can try to keep people alive. Jason's already killed 2 people.
Nice. Of course he did.
Of course he did, and I have kept everyone alive. Thank you very much. I know
you are a pro gamer.
I'm like, why would you jump off? That's not a smart decision. Anywho, I want to say that
reminds me of on the stream when we were like, yeah, go ahead, investigate the sound. Yeah, because we wanted to kill her, and we did.
That was the best revenge ever. Yeah, and that's the beauty of this game is if people piss you off, you can just kill them.
Amazing.
Or try to. I have had some technical hiccups though. Even though there are multiple controllers that you can play with, like I'll have my own controller, Jason will have his. I'm an inverted player, and whenever
I don't understand you.
I know, and I get shit for it, and it doesn't help when these UIs are being built, and then in the menu, it's like, do you want to play inverted or normal? It's like, listen, normal. It's not normal. It's just another option. And Jason's like, yeah, you got to switch it to normal because it's the normal way to play. Screw you, sir.
Yeah, but no. I mean, yeah, I guess whatever. That is kind of weird. You'd think it'd be like, I don't know what else you'd call it.
I don't know either.
Inverted.
I No, regular. Just don't call it normal.
But regular isn't the same thing.
But I mean, but normal. Would you rather have someone be like, Steimer, you're normal, or Steimer, you're regular? Well, I guess that can get weird. Never mind. That makes absolutely no sense. It did not work. My example did not work. So anyway,
I do enjoy being regular.
I know, me too. It's very nice. So yeah. Anyway, when you have to switch your controls, which isn't an issue. I mean, like, it takes 2 seconds to go and open up the menu. You can pause during cutscenes, no problem. But we found like half the time we can't get out of the menu without having to go back to the main screen, and it's clearly a bug because it says you want to save your changes. We say yes, and then absolutely nothing happens, and then a few minutes later it's like, hey, go baback to the main menu, and we're like, dang,
got it.
Not what we want to do.
Bummer.
That's kind of a bummer. This game unfortunately chugs a lot. It's the frames are stuttering pretty bad, but it's, you know,
do you think it can just be patched?
I'm hoping so. I don't think there's been any news about a patch coming in because I looked into that. Like, are you guys getting a patch? Because I could use one. And then at one point we lost all audio completely, which wasn't very helpful because we couldn't tell what the hell was happening. So we had to make a decision based off of a conversation we didn't hear. And then it was
do you not always put subtitles on?
We had subtitles on, but the subtitles didn't populate.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was like the same issue I had in Control at one very important pivotal moment as well. You're right, I always have audio issues.
Yeah.
Like, all subtitles and audio just completely went out the window. And then I was like, that was supposed to be like a big twist moment, and I just missed it. So yeah, like, just be careful. You know, I think it's running pretty. I've heard same things on PS4 and Xbox One. So it's not terrible. It's not game breaking. Like, I'm very excited to hop back into it and hopefully maybe finish it tonight. But yeah, it's a good time. It's spooky. It's definitely spooky. So, you know, if you have small children,
so I will not play it alone.
No, Simon, do not play this game alone. You would not enjoy this at all.
Great.
Yeah,
I will wait for you guys / possibly the next rendition of Lights Off.
Yeah, and then finally, I've been playing. I think it's Ononaki. I always get this title screwed up. Let me do a quick search.
Sure, that sounds right.
To the
I don't know.
Yeah. Ononaki. So this is a game developed by Tokyo RPG Factory, I Am Setsuna, and Lost Sphere, and published by Square Enix. I'm not far enough into it to give like definitive opinions on it, but it's so far it seems like a solid like high 6 out of 10.
High 6.
A high 6. You know, when you just play a game, like, the minute I was like, not the minute, like a couple hours into Control, I'm like, this is probably gonna get around like 8s, you know, like 8s and like 8.5. So you can just kind of tell when you've been doing this for a while. But yeah, Ononaki, it's fine. The problem that I've had with Tokyo RPG Factory's games in the past is they try to recreate JRPGs of old, which I love because that's like my favorite genre ever. But the problem is it's kind of hard to insert so much soul into a game that's created in 2019 that's trying to do what games did back then. You know, games back then have a certain kind of charm and nostalgia to them, and trying to recreate that today. So far, it looks like Ononaki may have taken a step in the right direction. It looks like they're doing something different. I'm not far enough in to really judge, but so I shouldn't give it a score. But it's okay so far. Like, it doesn't help that I played this right after Fire Emblem. Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
Sure, fair. Yeah.
So I'll play more of that and then I will report back. But anyway, speaking of Fire Emblem, we are going to hop into our Fire Emblem Spoilercast in the next segment. So this is your first warning. Now would probably be a good time to turn away if you don't want to get anything spoiled for you. So if this is where you leave us, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with us for another mother effin', what do we call it? Britt and Steimer Steinbachers. Yes, that's right. And hopefully we'll see you at PAX. And if you are sticking around, we'll be right back. Oh my god, welcome back to What's Good Games and all this segment 3 bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, oh my god. No.
Are you on crack?
No, am I on crack? I am just so excited to talk about Fire Emblem because I haven't had anyone to talk about Fire Emblem with, and I just have so many questions for you.
You haven't had anyone?
No, I haven't.
What about me?
Well, we're doing it right now, which is why I'm so excited.
Yeah, we did save it.
This has been bubbling for a while. Now it's like spilling out of the pot. You know what I mean? Now it's like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah. So again, spoiler warning.
Oh, yeah.
If you are interested in playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses and not having anything of the story ruined for you, you best turn this off.
Yeah.
go enjoy your life. We will see you next week. But if you are, one, not going to play this game, or two, don't care about spoilers, then stick with us. Hello. Or you already beat it and you want to hear our thoughts.
Oh my God. Let's spoil the shit out of this.
Yes. So we both, thankfully, played different houses.
Yes.
I played Black Eagle's house. You played Blue Lion?
Golden Deer.
Golden Deer. Shit. That's right. Somebody else. I had some other friends play Blue Lion.
I wish we had someone on here from the Blue Lions, but oh well.
Yes.
It's fine. We'll just shit on their house.
They are the worst.
They are. They literally, no, I think they are. I'm not joking.
Yeah. So I don't know exactly how we want to dive exactly into this, because each of the houses, basically how the game works is each house tells a very, I feel like they're probably very different story.
Yeah.
After a certain point. I think it's all the same, up until...
Right. Until
probably like a third.
A certain Edelgard starts plotting some shit.
Yeah, and it's all the same. So
so as a refresher, I have the classes broken down here.
Cool.
Okay. So like Steimer was saying, you have your 3 classes: Golden Deer, Blue Lions, Black Eagles, and at the beginning of the game you get to choose who you want to be with. I chose Golden Deer because I liked Claude's personality. Dimitri from the Blue Lions seemed a little too uptight for me. And and then obviously Edelgard looked badass, but she wasn't Claude.
Edelgard is
is it Edel or Edel?
So Edel.
Edel, okay. All right, so Golden Deer has Claude, Hilda, Leonie, Raphael, Ignatz, Lorenz, Lysithea, Marianne. Blue Lions is Dimitri, Dedu, Annette, Ash, Mercedes, Sylvain, Felix, and Ingrid. And then Black Eagles is Edelgard, Bernadetta, Caspar, Dorothea, Ferdinand, Linhart, Petra, and Hubert.
There's so many things about this that I really liked. And we do have a lot of questions in front of us from you guys, from our WGG. Wait, let's just give them the address, because
whatsgoodgames.com/DRWGG.
That's what I was talking about. I almost said Patreon, like a Patreon thing. I was like, it's not Patreon anymore.
Yeah.
It's open to everybody.
Everybody
can send us a question. And so we may, toss a few of your questions in here, and if we need a prompt or two. But one of the things I thought that they did was really nice is a lot of the characters that you meet. So specifically for my class, Black Eagles, there were definitely people that I thought were really annoying at first. I just hated. Bernadetta got on my nerves. But then honestly, as the story unfolds, you learn a lot of things about them that explain their behavior and honestly make you feel like a shitty person. Because then you're like, oh.
Especially with her story, Bernadetta's story.
Bernadetta definitely nails trauma in a way that I was like, oh, I guess maybe I should be a more understanding person.
So here's the thing. Is I didn't know much about this game before I went into it. I didn't know about the time skip. I didn't know that once the time skip happens, if you haven't recruited anyone, they're basically dead to you. So I just happened to get super lucky, and I recruited everyone but Ferdinand, Ash, and then Hubert, obviously, and Dedu.
Ferdinand, yeah.
Ferdinand. How do you say his name?
Ferdinand.
I'm just calling him Fergie.
Okay.
Fergie. I know. Yeah. So I got really lucky that I was able to recruit everyone but those, not knowing that. Did you know you had to recruit people? We didn't have to.
So I knew that I could. However, the only one that easily joined me was Sylvain. And also I thought he was hot.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, you can go join my class. And then I didn't honestly care too much about it because I really liked everyone in my class. And I also don't have the patience to sit there and level up a bunch of people I'm not going to use. So even though I eventually also recruited some of the professors, which you can do later on in the game, I didn't Hanneman's still 25. He's not getting used.
Yeah.
And for reference, my character was level 50. So there are some people who I bench and do not care about. And I just didn't want to have a lot of those. And also I didn't understand. I knew there was a time skip at some point. I didn't understand how little time I had. I didn't understand a lot of what was coming down the pike. So I definitely kind of screwed up in that regard and had to murder almost everybody. But that's life, I guess. You just murder all your old friends.
I guess so.
But it was crazy. So for the main spoiler of the game is, as sort of Brittany alluded to earlier, at some point you'll see like a flame emperor or whatever come around.
Mhm.
That is Edelgard. And she has a whole reason for why she's doing what she's doing, which you only discover if you are Black Eagles
Mhm.
and you do a certain number of things with Edelgard. Like, she has a specific quest you need to go on her with, I think, in order to even trigger that as an option for you to go with her and to join her. And so it's funny because when you get to that part, it's like it's a tomb sort of a thing. And so for somebody who played Blue Lions, I was like, what did you do in the tomb? And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, what choice did you make? And they were like, there was no choice.
Oh, because you have a choice.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Because so if you play as Black Eagles, you have a choice to either go with Edelgard or to go against her.
Right.
But if you are playing Golden Deer or you are playing Blue Lions, there is no choice.
Mm-hmm.
The story just plays out there in
Right.
whatever way it is meant to.
Yeah, it was interesting because when Steimer and I would talk about Fire Emblem before we would record the show, like weeks past, she'd always be like, "You picked the wrong house. You picked the wrong house." And I think I remember this specifically. You said, you said, "I'm not being a bitch. I'm telling you, literally picked the wrong house." And I'm like,
Yes.
And I was like, I wonder what she's talking about, because I didn't realize, because I had tried to go into this, not knowing anything as possible, that obviously the stories do differ depending on who you play as. But then I started like wondering, like, is Claude up to something sketchy that I don't know about? Like, am I like, why am I with the wrong house? And then as I played through my story and I defeated those who slither in the dark, and Rhea stepped down, and I united Fodlan and Almyra, and like everything was good. I'm like, what did
Rhea stepped down?
Yeah, she was gravely injured.
So you don't know she's a monster.
So what I know is she is Seros.
Okay, so she's actually a monster.
So she turns into a big dragon, and
yes.
I'm like, that's really fucking weird.
Yes. So the thing is, if you play Black Eagles and go with Edelgard, you find out she's the Immaculate One is what they call her.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly. Like, she turns into that in that dungeon, and she's like, I will murder you in your face. And you're like, whoa, Rhea, oh God, you're a dragon now.
Because you're trying to, what are you trying to do there in the tomb?
If you choose to protect Edelgard and go with her, Rhea freaks out. And she's just like, how dare you?
Yeah.
You betray me, you betray everything. And then she rages and she turns into the dragon in that tomb. And so like so if you play Black Eagles, like, you are the first people to even really see that. And then that's how you know why she's doing what she's doing. So Edelgard's whole crusade is that the religion is corrupt and the noble system is corrupt, and it's all being run by Rhea, who is really a giant dragon monster, who is parading around as a human. And they're like false gods, and they're controlling everybody. And so she's trying to liberate the people from this.
And this is so funny because obviously it's two different stories. So
yes,
I know okay, this is my understanding, is that here I have it in here. So Rhea devoted herself to experimenting on implanting her mother's crest stone, who is Sothis, into created bodies in an attempt to revive her mother, Sothis. Her 12th failure, a young woman fell in love with the then captain of Seros, Geralt, eventually becoming pregnant, and then the birth resulted in a stillborn child, and the mother was dying. And then the Byleth's mother wanted Rhea to implant her crest into the child, which is what Byleth is. So and
Byleth is the player character.
Yeah. And so, because like the story is cuckoo bananas.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's so weird. So Byleth then is part like human, but she's also Sothis, which is technically Rhea's mother. And so Rhea is trying to basically like use these humans in order to revive her mom. But in my playthrough, like, here's the thing, like the Church of Seros, like it was always really sketchy. Like here, like, I won't go down that path. Anyway, I was really skeptical of everything she was doing and saying. Like, she was acting really aggressive.
They definitely hint at it, right?
Yeah.
They're like, she says some unsettling things at times.
Well, she overreacted a lot. Like, we must, basically get rid of all those who oppose the church. And I'm like, whoa, lady, you need to chill the hell out. But I never obviously had that option to tell her to fuck off. And then it sounds like as Saros, she used the church to revise history for her benefit and prevent people from creating advanced tech and threatening her. And okay, so yeah.
Wait, so if Rhea doesn't die in your playthrough, does that mean Byleth still remains as she is?
Byleth becomes the archbishop.
Well, no. So when in my game you defeat the Immaculate One, you kill Rhea in her dragon form. When that happens, you as Byleth collapse, and Edelgard like runs to you, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're dead." But then what happens is like your heart actually starts to beat, and you become a human. You're finally like actually just a human instead of
died essentially.
Sothis dies. Yeah, basically. So actually, I think that's actually I wanted to bring up this question by Kelly B because I think it's an interesting. It plays off of this. She asked, "Do you like how Byleth is more of a traditional RPG character, very akin to Link, and that they have no voice and only small, sparsely worded dialogue choices, or do you wish that they had more of a voice and personality? Well, I felt more connected to Byleth because of this, and I completely understand the decision to make them this way, because obviously you can be male or female. There were points where I was frustrated with their lack of emotion or even opinions on the events taking place around them. Interested to hear both of your takes on this." So I think that because of this story element we are discussing right now, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you are essentially a shell. You're not even really a human. You don't have a heartbeat. You are a vehicle for Rhea to get her mother, Sothis, back into reality somehow. So your character being mute, basically, with a few word choices that don't actually, like are just words, and you don't hear yourself ever speak or really have a voice or a personality. You don't react. That's all very much, to me, part of the story and something that gets revealed as you go on. The one thing I would have liked actually to drive this point home more is if at the end of so my game, when you do it shows like the heartbeat and like you're human again. If you started, maybe you spoke, if she talked talks there, that would have been amazing. My mind would have exploded. I would have been like, holy shit. It would have been so cool. I think that was possibly a missed opportunity. But otherwise I didn't mind it because of that. Like, I think that they wrote it into the story well enough where it made sense.
Yeah. And even, the characters around you, like, you're so emotionless. Your face is still as a stone, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I agree. It would have been good to tell Rhea to screw off a few times. Like, and here's the thing. In my playthrough, like, besides her overreacting when it came to matters of the church, like, Claude was always incredibly skeptical because one of his things is he doesn't like blind faith in gods. So he's very skeptical of that kind of stuff. And so I liked that about him because I feel like he was the voice of reason when it came to those kind of matters. But she... Obviously, like, looking back on it, it's like, okay, now I know why she was so insistent on, like, us joining and becoming a professor and why she wanted Gerald to come back so bad. But she was never, like, super duper crazy, but that's probably because I had her mom in me the whole time. So she was real nice to me. And I mean, same with you, but I guess the circumstances were different. And
she was very nice up until that one point when she got mad and turned into a dragon.
Yeah, it was crazy because I never saw her do anything like malicious or like she always tried to protect everyone. And that's...
some of her lines when you make that choice are like, you're like, whoa, lady, you got some darkness in you. Like, it's real messed up.
Yeah. And so, okay, so this part that I'm really like excited to talk to you about. So Edelgard, from our perspective, like, all I know, and this is why everyone just needed to fucking sit down and have a nice long chit chat about what's going on, why everyone's so mad at each other. Because what was really frustrating to me is I never understood Edelgard's reasonings. Like, it was never given to me or never really explained to me. So from my perspective, she was just like trying to stand up for something. I assumed it was something she believed in. I assumed it was something that she thought like something was corrupt and she was trying to do her own, like, the lesser of an evil to do what she thought she had to do. But I never got to like have like that moment in the game. Yeah, because
I don't think you can't really build relationships with the other leaders of the other houses.
And the game doesn't tell you that. So you know how many times I invited those bastards to tea?
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, and I had like lunch with them, and I was like, why aren't they like enjoying? But I think that's really cool that they did that because I did not see any of this coming. It
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it came to like Hubert and other guys' characters, I had a feeling something. Not only does Hubert look fucking terrifying, but
dude, I thought Hubert was kind of hot in like a Loki sort of way.
Really? No,
He looks like Loki.
He kind of scared me. He had a redeeming moment in the end, but he had no ability for me to increase my relationship with him, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, well, something's clearly gonna happen. But anyway, so from my perspective, Edelgard suddenly becomes like the Flame Emperor. She's associating with Monica, who kills my dad, which is like really shitty, and then she's associating with those who slither in the dark, who were performing blood rituals and killed all the children in Lysithia's family. And so I'm like, why?
Yeah. No, it definitely like sets her up to be the villain,
right?
if you don't see her side of the story. And so it's funny, I accidentally spoiled the Flame Emperor reveal for myself, and I was pissed about it. So like I was looking for a gameplay guide for a dungeon, like the one with one of the puzzle dungeons that come up. Not a dungeon, but whatever levels. And in the fucking, I don't even know why it was in there. Like that has nothing to do with it. It's just like, by the way, Edelgard's the Flame Emperor. And I was like, what? Like, are you serious? Why would you do that? But then when I had that lens, actually watching the cutscenes was fascinating, because even if you watch it, like the Flame Emperor is pissed at like Monica and the other people for doing what they did, and is like, get out of here. Like, get out of my sight, basically. Like you're gone. And like, it's because she knows you and it has a relationship with you, and knows your dad. It's like, it's just kind of interesting to see it if you go back through and play again, watch the cutscenes with the Flame Emperor, because she's never like crossing any sort of weird, in my opinion, lines that would make it horrifying. And if you play with her, you get a lot more backstory into why she's doing what she's doing and how she gets roped into those other slithering in the dark people.
So, because I was looking into it, so it looks like those who slither, I had them as slithers in my note because I'm too fucking lazy. They did experiments on Crescent Creststones, blah, blah, blah. They manipulated Fodlan's leaders, and 1,000 years after Nemesis' defeat, they experimented on the children of Emperor Ionis IX, which is Edelgard's dad, who had like 11 kids, so they could create a leader they could control. So did they manipulate her?
So Edelgard and Lysithea have similar stories in the sense that they were both sort of tortured with a bunch of brothers and sisters they did experiments on them in order to try and add more crests.
Does she have 2 crests?
So she has 2 crests.
Oh, so does Lysithea.
She has the Crest of Flames, which you also have. So your crests match. And so so they did all sorts of like screwed up things to her. She lost all of her siblings. And it's her uncle that is one of the creepy people. And so it's sort of one of those things where she has to very slyly manage the situation. Like you can't full force attack them yet because they are very powerful.
Oh, okay.
So that's why she works with them as the Flame Emperor, because she's like, this is kind of the only option I have right now. She has 2 enemies, right? Mm-hmm. She has the church, which is led by a dragon monster, and she has her uncle and all of the screwed up people who are corrupt trying to like control the world that way. So she's like basically has to strategically take one enemy out at a time. So she uses one to take out the other, which is why she works with them in the first place. And then you do take them out too. Like it in the the aftermath, whatever it says, like, yes, then you take care of those who slither in the dark. So like she doesn't just like let them be.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because okay, so I guess my question is, does she ever talk about why she doesn't come to any of the other students with this information, why she keeps it to herself? Or is that just like because the game had to be designed that way for dramatic effect?
You mean like why she doesn't tell Claude or why she doesn't tell Dimitri?
Yeah, because it sounds like Claude and her kind of would have like the same goals. So it's...
that part I don't know. I think Dimitri wouldn't. I think Dimitri
he's crazy, dude.
Too, yeah, he's a little woohoo. And Claude, I felt bad. So what's interesting is, so I had a whole bunch of coworkers also playing this game. We've all been discussing, and somebody else also picked Black Eagles, also did the same thing I did. Mm-hmm. But when so later on in the game, you basically have to attack and kill your old friends. One of those levels is with Claude. I didn't have this option. He randomly did. I still don't know why he got this option. He got the option to let Claude go. Mm-hmm. To like just let him be. And I was like, I had no option. I had to kill him.
Weird. Yeah, I saw that you have an option, right? Either you let him go and then he goes off to become king of Elmira, or you kill him and then when you let him go, you get all of the alliance, right? He's like, take the alliance. Yeah.
So like, but he, I didn't have the option. I just killed him.
That's so weird. I wonder why.
Weird. And I don't know why, because up until that point, I thought he and I had done everything similarly.
I wonder, did you do all of the, what were they called? The side missions that you would do on the battlefield?
Yep, I did.
Huh.
It's super weird. I don't know why I didn't get the option. And also the only person who allows you to recruit them after the time skips, so far as I know, is Lysithea, who we lovingly called Listerine sometimes.
Listerine?
Because she has a crazy name. And she was like, wait, don't kill me. I'll come with you. And I was like, sure, cool, dope. Come on, join us. Let's go. But I had to kill pretty much everyone else. So actually that kind of brings us into this other question from our lovely listener, Exelgender. How did you feel when you had to kill a student from another house or a staff member? I chose the Black Eagles and decided to help Edelgard, so killing Dedue, Ingrid, and Catherine was really tough. But I love the feel of regret for not picking them up beforehand to join my party.
Oh boy, that was really hard for me. So like I said, the only two people that I didn't recruit were Ferdy and Ash, and obviously the other guys you can't recruit. But when I saw Ash in that first battle, and I was like, oh no, I did everything in my power to not even like hurt him. I like stayed away from him because I was hoping that maybe if I did save him, like we could have a conversation later and he could be like, yo, let me like join your party.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
No, the one character that I did have to kill obviously was Ferdy. And that was like tough. You had to kill him because it was part of the requirements to finish the battle. And then I think it was Hubert.
Yep.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucked.
Yeah, it was really interesting because I recruited almost no one. I only recruited Sylvain and then Listerine later. And so, but I didn't get Catherine. I got Shamir and the other two professors. And I did get Flane, but Flane leaves. Like Flane, if you choose Edelgard,
sure,
she'll go back and she'll be with Sedith, her brother, or spoiler alert, her father.
Yeah.
And I felt like that one felt really bad because I wanted to be like, oh, we were friends, and like you're also a little girl, and I just straight.
Girl, she ain't no little girl. That's Sethleen. She's Sethleen. One of the four saints. She
is, but in my game that was not revealed. I mean, it was hinted at, but not fully revealed.
She knows what she's doing.
But and so and I was like, well, bye.
Bye.
Take an axe to the face.
I would have. I mean, I'm just so happy that I played the way I did because I did take the time to level people, not because I wanted to use them, but because I wanted to see all of their character interactions. And a really quick way for me to do that, besides the lunches that you could do and whatnot, is just to throw everyone in battle, put it on autoplay, auto battle, and just like mash the start button so it just goes boom, 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 boom. And then after that, I would have like 20 different dialogues that I have to like go through and watch. But man, like I just got really lucky because I had no idea that this was going to be a thing, and I just happened to talk to people and they'd be like, okay, they need more charisma and more skills with this, and then I would just happen to randomly like focus on that, and then I would take people to tea, and then they were like, we want to join, everyone was like, I want to join your school, your class, I want to join. I was like, yes, you do.
Yes, come with me, my child.
Come with me, my child. I know, it was sad when you said you had to kill Claude. I was like, why did you?
Yeah, I mean, I had to kill literally everyone. The only person I didn't have to kill Catherine because she was only available to really kill at the very last battle where I was fighting the Immaculate one. And I was like, I'm just going to ignore her. She was like kind of off on the side, and I just went straight up the middle and took out the dragon, and she was like coming up to me, like slowly moving up, but she didn't make it there in time, so technically she's still alive.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice way of looking at it.
And I was like, thanks, Catherine, like, because you seemed cool, like we didn't have to be enemies. But bye. Oh my god. So Ingrid, I regretted not recruit. So there's Sergei asks, like, which character did you not recruit that you regretted not recruiting post time skip, mostly because you have to kill them. So Sergei, I regret Ingrid the most, only because she was the hardest one to kill. And so I was on the plane. I was flying off to a work trip this past week, and I had my Bose like audio headphones on, like noise canceling headphones on. So I don't know actually sounds outside of what I'm making. I'm going through, and I've been so over leveled because I'm crazy, and I just over level like 6-7 levels before above what I need to be, and going through, having an easy time. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my God, Ingrid shows up. She kills Sylvain in one shot. I audibly gasp. I go, like, I just like have like such a visceral reaction to Sylvain all of a sudden dying. Like no one has died. And great, I don't have it on permadeath.
Right.
But I was still just shocked.
Yeah.
In general. And I like just made a guttural noise. And the girl sitting next to me, who I also work with, and another girl sitting behind me, who I also work with, were like, "Are you okay? What's happening? What's going on?" And I was like, "No, what? I'm fine. Sylvain died." And they were like, "What?"
They
were like,
"Oh." You know, that makes me so sad because their relationship, Sylvain and Ingrid's relationship, is really fun. They're childhood friends who just they were Sylvain and Felix are all childhood friends. And so, like, these are the fun things that you reveal when you do get to see all these character interactions and how Sylvain, like, flirted with her grandma when he was young. Like, these little funny, silly things. And it's like, if you don't know that, it just makes it even more heartbreaking.
Yes. So, but yeah, she was the toughest one to take down. She was dodging everything. She's was like
badass.
One-shotting everything. I was like, oh my God, girl, I wish you were on my squad. You're really good.
She's real good. Leonie is also real good. They're all so much fun. And that's like the thing is every character is so different and unique. And getting to know them, like I finished this game a couple weeks ago, so I was a little rusty. So I was doing some reminding, and I'm like reading every name. I'm like, oh yeah, and it sounds cheesy, but it feels like those are people I've known for a while because they're so different and they each have their own unique personality, like I just said. And it's pretty cool that these people are written so incredibly well. And I want more content. After I finished this game, I literally went into like a 1.5 day depression. Yes. Like, what do I do with my life?
Yeah, I definitely had I don't know. I put it down now.
I put it down. It's like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. So how did Dimitri die in your game?
I killed him.
Okay.
So like basically there's a few battles that happen and we defeat Rhea as a human. She just like runs it with the Knights of Saros on the side and we like easily take her out. And then then Dimitri's like, "You retreat." And she's like, "Okay." And she does. And then we just straight up kill Dimitri. He's just like, we're trying to invade the capital. Yeah. And he brings his forces out in front of the capital to prevent destruction to the city. But then Rhea just sets the whole city on fire anyway. She goes full like Dragon Queen.
That's crazy that she did that.
Yes.
She sets the whole city on fire? What the hell?
Sets the whole city on fire.
She's crazy in your game.
She's literally like Daenerys. Like, it's crazy.
She's crazy in your game. That bitch is crazy. Dimitri in my game, so it was at the class reunion, you know, where they're all three. Like, did you get that?
No, because there is no. I mean, I was so confused. So again, another coworker is playing this game, and she was like, "Yeah, at the second, at the second battle at the reunion," and I was like,
"Oh,
what? What are you talking about?" And she was like, "The reunion battle," and I was like,
"No,
what reunion battle?" Like, because when you branch off as Edelgard, like, no one talks to you anymore.
Right.
You are the pariahs, like, at this point, and there is no reunion.
No one's greeting you.
No one's greeting you at the door. Like, you take over Garrick Mach, and like, no one there. Everyone there is like part of your army, and that's it. Like, no one wants to talk to you. So there is no reunion.
That's so sad.
They all think you're crazy.
That's so sad.
There is none of that.
So Dimitri, I had the battle at the reunion, and I don't know. I don't think I killed Dimitri, or I did attack him and he retreated, or Edelgard, someone retreated. And then we're all having like this conversation. Like, no one was dead at that point. It was just like the Golden Deer all just like chit-chatting. And then Hilda comes running up and she's like, "Oh my God, I just saw Dimitri being killed. He was surrounded by I don't know who, and they were all holding spikes, and oh my God, it was so terrible to see." And I was like, I don't believe it. Like,
wait, they killed him off camera?
Yeah, like they killed him off camera. Apparently he went in the woods chasing after Edelgard, and he got caught by like her guards.
He got.
He got caught, yeah. And they were all like poking at him, apparently with like spikes. She said like it was horrible. But I'm like, but really? So that's why I didn't actually believe he was dead until then it showed, did you saying, Your Highness, I will avenge you. And then he shows up when my final fight with Edelgard, he showed up and he wanted to kill her. But, and that was the thing, is I got to her as Byleth, and the most terrible cutscene plays out, because at this point, I, the player, know this is just one huge misunderstanding, in the sense that, like, sure, I don't really like Rhea either. Like, I never have. My alliance was with Golden Deer.
There's a weird noise happening.
What is it?
I don't know.
What's it sound like? Like, recreate? Is it in your headphones? Oh, I hear it.
I'm wondering if it's my fan.
I can barely hear it.
I think my fan might be
on the fritz.
On the fritz.
Okay. Do you want to power through it, or do you want to shut it off?
No, we'll power through it. It's
okay.
fine. I was just confused. I was just concerned for a minute. I was like, what is that?
I mean, if you get abducted by aliens, it'd be real sad. So anyway, I get up to Edelgard as Byleth, and me, like I said, as a player, I'm like, okay, this is one big misunderstanding. I don't like Rhea as, the time skip. I'm aligned with Golden Deer. Like, let's just like chat about this.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking up to Edelgard, and now it's like this anime cutscene. Have you seen this one?
No.
And Byleth is like walking up to her, and Edelgard's like crouching, and she's like, you have to kill me. You have to kill me to like do what you got to do, whatever. And then Edelgard was saying something like, I didn't want to make an enemy of you. And as she's something like that. And as she's saying that, Byleth is holding up the sword, and then she just like smacks it down, and then the scene just goes black. And then I knew at that point she had just literally probably cut Edelgard in half.
Yikes.
And I audibly gasped as well. I was like, oh my God, like, did you seriously just do that? And you should watch it. It's pretty powerful. And I couldn't, and that was a part where I was really frustrated, is I feel like no one asked Edelgard, why are you doing this? Like, all we know is that she appears to have made some pretty bad decisions, but I feel like someone who seemed relatively stable before all the shit hit the fan, there's probably something going on.
Yes.
And that was kind of a frustrating thing, because I would have loved if she would have, told us why she was doing what she was doing, and then me as the player could have made the decision what route I wanted to go. But then I know that gets real complicated because the storylines are already so branching. But yeah, that was intense.
It's intense. I do wish that I don't think Dimitri would again have ever gone for it, even if I don't think he would ever listen to Edelgard, but I do think Claude would have. I think you're right on that. I think that would have made sense to give them maybe an option or two to kind of join Root, but
and we wanted to talk to her, but apparently she didn't. I don't know what happened. It was I get it. You have to be right characters are stubborn for the sake of story, otherwise it just gets too complicated. But I think Dimitri was just a lost cause. It's interesting how someone so straight-laced, or appeared to be, just completely went cuckoo bananas. And I'd be interested to replay his story, but I just don't, or play his story. I just don't have the time.
Yes. We have a few story questions. Do you want to pick one of those?
Yeah. Well, you want to pick it? Because you're the queen of picking.
Oh, well, I'm the queen of picking.
Congratulations, Steimer.
So I think that this is a good point. Charles asks, one of my favorite aspects of the game is how different an impression of the world you get dependent on your playthrough. The world presented by Edelgard is very different than the one you see with Claude, and it's not because one character is lying or manipulating you, it's just their point of view. I really appreciated this aspect of storytelling. What did you ladies think? I think that's a really good point, that similar to what you said, Britt, Claude just has only a smaller viewpoint of what Edelgard is doing, whereas I had more of a breadth of scope of what was going on. So it was just the different perspectives of different people, not necessarily right versus wrong or anything like that. You just get to kind of see more in at least with Black Eagles.
Yeah, and obviously, the stories do vastly differ. In yours, Rhea burned everything to shit. So it's not necessarily the exact same story that every character gets, but it's still, I just wish everyone was sat down and had a conversation. That's all I wanted. Yeah,
what's also so Vincent, this is a quick little question. So Steimer, I assume you know about the two different routes for Black Eagles. I do indeed. Do you want to see the other path? I feel Edelgard's path is the one true path, and I don't even want to know how things would be different in the other path. So Vincent, I do actually know that the other path, which is when you join with Rhea and you go against Edelgard with Black Eagles, you actually learn the most about Byleth and her backstory. That's the way you get to know all of the stuff that Brittany brought up earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of like a watered down version of the Golden Deer Path, is what I've heard.
Yeah. So that's how you get to know everything that happens that way. I also agree. I couldn't do it, especially after seeing her turn into a weird freaky dragon and being crazy. I was like, look, my girl Edelgard. Plus, I know you say Hubert creeps you out. I really like Hubert, and I felt I couldn't go against him. I was like, no.
He did have a redeeming quality when after you kill him, he in Shambhala, I think it was, one of the places. Anyway, he gives you a letter and he's like, if you're getting this, it's because I'm dead, but someone has to know how to kill those who slither in the dark. And this is basically like where you go or how you find them. And this is what you do. So without his help, and when I got that, I was like, damn it. Like he and Edelgard were good people, man. They were good people.
They were, good people, sometimes bad tactics.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's kind of, how it goes sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I think this is so fascinating because if you were to ask Steimer, I'm sure she would say like she's very happy she went with the Black Eagle route and she wouldn't change that. And for me, I'm like so happy I went with the Golden Deer route and I wouldn't change that because I feel like the story I got was complete and like the right side of the story and I got the very best ending. And then I'm sure if you asked Steimer the same thing, she would say the same thing for Black Eagle. So it's just fascinating how they manage to tell very similar stories that aren't the exact same, but to build such an allegiance with these schools. Because I probably won't play this game again as much as I want to. I just don't have the time to do it, even though you have like New Game Plus. But
yeah.
Something
we haven't touched on that is very us that I feel like we need to.
Stick it in.
Raven has brought up, hello, Steinbachers. Who would you bang after the 5-year time skip? And who would you let die? So first of all, who did you marry?
Claude.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It was easy. It was easy decision. I was trying to get in his pants like the whole time.
I married Sylvain because obviously Claude's not an option for me.
Yeah. You killed him, you monster.
I didn't want to kill him. The game wouldn't let me do anything else. But yeah, so I married Sylvain. I thought about marrying Hubert for a minute. Because again, like I have a Loki thing, so like
oh my God,
the green eyes and like the black droopy hair. I was like, okay, that's you. That's you guy with the high cheekbones, sort of gout
boots with
look.
the fur. Oh, gout look.
Yeah, like I don't know. I sort of had a thing for him.
That's so funny.
But so definitely would bang Sylvain. Would definitely have banged Claude if I didn't.
Okay, let's go down the list because I have the list of characters here.
Okay, great.
Okay, let's go through first of all, the professors. So you have Manuela, Hanneman, Catherine, and Shamir. Shamir's not a professor, nor is Catherine, but they kind of count.
No, they are like sort of.
So, oh my God, did you see all of Manuela's friendship?
Dude,
things?
Manuela is like, girl needs to get it together. It's fine to be single. I don't know why everyone needs to freak out.
She's the best. She was always like getting drunk, and I loved her. She was great. I would not bang her though. I will say she's hot, but I wouldn't bang her. Hanneman.
So also, I think we should be talking like post time skip when they're all older.
Oh, of course.
So that's just what we're gonna be basing this off of, in case you are wondering.
Thank you,
because
Summer.
I would definitely bang post time skip Ash.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let me get a
I have a sheet up. It's like Annette. She's cute.
Okay, let me get okay, here we go. Okay. So, well, I'm at what website are you at? So we're looking at the same one.
I'm at EG247.
Okay, hold on. Because I want to make sure we're looking at it.
I just looked Fire Emblem 3 Houses time skip character designs.
Okay. Oh wow. You went like real detail. Okay.
Time
skip character designs. Okay. I think my thing just like froze again. No. Okay, here we go. Okay, it starts with Annette, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Annette. I liked Annette. I think she is a brave young lass. And she was
talking about bangable. Are you going to bang her?
Oh, no. But she was really fucking cute with Felix. Like, really, really,
I'm
really
also
cute.
Not going to bang her.
No. Ash would hit. 10 out of 10.
Yes, would hit.
Bernadetta,
no, I'm sorry.
What's up with her haircut time skip?
I don't like her hairstyle is better before the time skip.
No, it really
the time
is.
Skip is not. It looks bad.
Yeah.
To do, honestly, yeah, I'd hit it and put it.
I would absolutely.
Dimitri, no.
Oh,
sorry.
I would. I totally would, man. Blonde, crazy man. Yeah.
No, I would be too scared. Like that something bad would happen.
It's okay. Here's the thing. It's like, well, yeah, you don't ever. I would risk it.
Oh, you would risk it for the biscuit?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Dorothea, yes.
Oh yeah, isn't she the only female that can be romanced by a female?
No, you can also romance Edelgard.
Really? I didn't know that. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caspar, yeah, I would.
Oh, dude, yeah, he is really fun. His voice kind of annoys me a little bit, but
His voice is annoying, so like I would need to put a sock in his mouth, but otherwise, good to go.
I like his hair. Yeah, I would hit it.
Claude, 100% yes.
Oh, I did hit it. Oh my god, so good.
But I don't like the pre like weird rat tail in the front.
Yeah, the
like
braid.
that.
I'm wondering. Yeah.
But he loses that in the time skip, which is very
he
good.
loses that and gains so much more.
Oh my god, so and like the little bit of facial hair.
Oh no, he's great. It's that Almiron jeans, man.
Yeah, very good.
Very
Cyril,
good.
no, also you're still a child.
Yeah, even though he's like 21 in that post skip, I can't.
There's no way he can't be 21. He's like 10
He's like, I think
So he's like
15.
16.
Yeah, 15 or 16.
It's too young. It's too young. He's still a child. No,
Yeah.
thank you. Edelgard, yes.
Yes,
She's got look, she's fucking cool.
she's beautiful.
She's just cool. Felix, I don't love his hair.
Oh, dude, I would do terrible things to Felix.
I would do terrible things to Felix with the hair from like the man bun because I just don't know what's happening with his hair in the post time skip.
It's a weird ponytail.
Is it a ponytail? Like it's weird. It's too bizarre.
I was trying to like examine it, and it looks like it's either like it's like a weird ponytail that almost looks like it's just like a little rat tail that's up too high. I can't.
It's like he only put part of his hair in the ponytail.
Yeah,
he took like a side chunk and put that in sort of 80s style, and then the rest of it is just swept over top. And I'm not down.
Well,
I'm not down with this hairdo.
I think it's just because he doesn't give a fuck, and I like that.
I don't care. Put it back in a man bun. The man bun is infinitely better than whatever this is. Ferdinand.
Ferdy.
I don't know if I would, because Ferdinand seems like he wouldn't be very good in bed.
I know he would start crying and he'd be too concerned about himself.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
I only had one interaction with him at tea, or one friendship interaction with him, and all he did was talk about Edelgard the whole time. And then when I killed him, he was just talking about Edelgard the whole time. So like, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Hilda, I never talked to, so I've.
She's I think she's one of the strongest characters just because she's so incredibly well written. She's really witty, she's really gossipy, she's really manipulative, but not in a bad way. Like, and what I mean is she's good at getting everyone to do everything she wants. She's really funny, and all of her conversations with the characters are just hilarious. So I would never want anything serious. She's too lazy.
Yeah, I don't know. She seems cute. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, she's good. She's really good with an axe.
Hubert, yes. Even though he's sort of similar to Ferdinand, he'd be talking about Edelgard the whole time. I wouldn't care.
I would do, definitely post time skip Hubert because, like, obviously he's of age, and also like he just doesn't look as terrible. Like I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I like Hubie. Ignatz, no. Sorry.
I think I would, just because he was in my class, and he was like a little tiny like scared child, and then he like kind of grows up into like this super badass.
Still seems too young, but I don't know. I don't know him well enough.
He's like the same age as the other ones, but yeah, he's I think what it
looks like a baby.
I think just no, dude. When he takes off his glasses, though, he takes off his glasses for a couple scenes, and you're like, oh, hello, Harry Potter.
You're like, ooh, hello, sir.
I would hit Ignatz.
Would you hit Ingrid?
Oh yeah. She's a badass. Like,
yes, she is also a badass.
She needs to loosen up a little bit. She's a kind of an uptight character, but she has her reasons. But I would like to. I have respect for her.
Yes, same. Linhart, he's too lazy. Like all he wants to do is sleep. I don't think he'd be very good in bed.
No.
Lorenz would also be annoying as hell. Like I just no, absolutely not.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, here's the thing: Lorenz is he's a good guy. When you see like the S levels and the A levels he has with people, you can tell he actually really does care. And in the end, he's like, I've learned that nobility doesn't mean anything. It's just about the people. And he's really a stand-up dude. But I just can't get past the hair. I just can't.
Hair is bad. I like that he has an asymmetrical thing going on later though.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's funny. Leonie.
No, Leonie, she's cool and she's really badass and strong and she gets shit done and people are scared of her, but she's too, I don't know what she is.
I just don't like that she was like obsessed with your dad. I feel like that would be a weird thing.
Well, because he came
No,
to,
I know
you know
why. I know why. I just don't like it.
Okay, that's fair.
It would be strange.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Lysithea is still too young to me.
Yeah, I would
but
pass
she is
on her.
cool.
Yeah, she's great, but like, nah.
Marianne, no, she seems too timid.
I know.
Same with
No.
Mercedes. No.
Marianne, get her in bed. Guarantee. She's probably
Really?
like freaky deaky. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Look at
Well,
her.
fair enough. I don't know. Her and Mercedes would be a pass for me.
I wouldn't hit Mercedes, and I don't think
But
she'd hit
Petra?
everyone. Oh yeah.
Petra, hell yeah.
Oh no, Petra's amazing.
Petra's the greatest, and I'm so glad I had her in my class.
Oh yeah, she's great. She was one of my favorite characters too.
Yeah, she's one of the greatest characters in the game.
Isn't she? I think so. I think so too. I think they did such a good job writing her, and despite her broken Fodlan English, whatever language it was, like she is still so interesting, and she has such a fun personality. It was great.
She's fantastic. I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvain.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
oh my god. Up and down, left and right.
Boy.
Yeah.
Raphael, I'd be a little scared of because he's so big. I feel like he might accidentally hurt you.
Yeah, I think he's all brawn, no brain, but he has a heart of gold. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's very nice, but I feel like I would be a little too afraid to engage.
I would try it. So basically, I would bang everyone but like 3 people.
Who would you let die? Lorenz, I would let. I know you have more background on him, but I didn't care for him. Lorenz, I'd let die. I mean, granted, I killed all these people, but Ignatz, I'd probably let die.
Oh, he just wants to be an artist.
I don't care. You're dead. Dimitri, he's crazy. And that's probably it.
I would kill probably Ferdy because, like, I already killed him once and I'm over it
Yeah,
now.
Ferdy's a decent one to pick, to be quite honest.
I mean, is he interesting at all?
He gets better, but like there was definitely a time when I wanted to kick him out, and because he was just so annoying and like Edelgard, and I was like,
competing with
shut
her,
up about
right?
Edelgard. Like he's just always trying to compete with her, and he's not as good, and he's just, oh my god, he gets grating.
Yeah, I think the one of the not biggest disappointments, but it was kind of a bummer deal is, you know, in the other Fire Emblem games you get to marry people like almost whenever you want in the game, I feel like, and then you get to start having kids with them, and then their kids can like join your party, obviously, because this is a much more controlled like story and the kids are kids and then they become adults. You couldn't do that. So I was really excited for the ending with Claude. And obviously, like, the ending scene is, like, super cute. He's, like, clutching you, and he's like, I gotta go, but I'll be back, you know. But, like, he never says anything about getting married, and even in the epilogue, it never says anything about them getting married. It just says about them unifying Fodlan and Elmira, because he's obviously the king of Elmira, and you are the Archbishop of Fodlan, and that, like, he saves your ass. But it's never like, and they got married and had kids or anything like that. And I thought that was kind of an anticlimactic, like, way to end it. But
I think I was mostly just looking for more build up to it, because it kind of felt like you have one moment with that person at the Goddess Tower.
Yeah.
And then 6 years later, you maybe can marry them.
Yeah.
And that to me was, I was like, I wish there was at least flirting options or something to make it feel a little more fluid and like natural into this relationship. Because really, Sylvain's out here hitting on everybody, anything that moves, and then 10 minutes later to me is like, do you want to get married? And I'm like, yeah, sure,
why not?
But never cheat on me or I will kill you.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, all right, dope, let's get married. And so we get married and like do all this stuff. And
that's a cute little scene. Yeah, I agree. It would have been nice to see more of like, granted, like I get it, like this is a romantic game, but it would have been cool to see more of that, or at least spaced out more. I know certain character interactions can't be unlocked until you hit a certain point in the game. But like for me, I had Claude's S rank unlocked for a while, but it's like I had to wait until like the very end to see that. And it was like in the meantime, it was like, okay, I guess we're gonna act like we don't exist. But if you think about like a Mass Effect game, right? Like you do have those extra flirty options, and that would have been cool. I know they're vastly different games, but pipe dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. Well, I think we've spoiled the shit out of this. Any final thoughts?
Let me look through this really quickly, see if there's any questions that. No, I think we kind of covered everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be good. Yeah, if you want to, comment on the spoiler cast in the comments, just maybe do a nice thing and put spoilers before you start talking about the spoilers, because, people read the comments and stuff, and we don't want them to get this awesome game spoiled before it's their time.
Yes.
Well, damn, I feel so much better. That was great. It was good to like hear your perspective on everything about Black Eagles. I'm still happy that I went with Golden Deer, but at least like I have some more respect for Edelgard now and like her wacky decisions that were not portrayed in the best way to me. So like,
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
That's
given the perspective you had.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like we said at the end of the last segment, it is PAX week, so make sure you stop on by if you're going to be in town and say hi, high five. Don't awkwardly smell Steimer, like we talked about during the Fleur advertisement, because that's just a kind of a weird thing to do.
Yeah, please no.
Yeah, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Steinbachers. I believe next week the plan is to upload our PAX West panel as the podcast. So unless anything goes horribly wrong, we'll be taking next week off for a little R&R, and we'll be uploading our panel. And if something does go horribly wrong, we'll be back with another podcast next week. Woohoo! Woo! Woo! All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching at youtube.com/whatgoodgames. And we'll see you next week.